Chapter 1, I'm O.K. The only people that matter in the world are people who are great at something. I'm O.K, OK for short, and I've been cursed to be average at everything for the rest of my life. Even my initials are just OK. I asked my parents why they didn't name me something cool like Maximus. Because you're named after Grandpa Otis, my father replied. At least they didn't name me Stu like my older brother. That's the name of our great uncle who was a farmer or something. Every chance I get, I call my brother Stupid. Get it? Here, I'll draw a picture of that goon so you can see for yourself. Here's a little more about my family's last name if you're wondering how to pronounce Kalschwanki correctly. It rhymes with donkey and honky. Sometimes I wonder if I'd prefer a nickname like the inappropriate word for donkey instead of OK. Maybe. Actually, OK is better than being called a jackbutt. I'm censoring myself here. I know the real word. Dad says it sometimes when I'm fooling around too much, like when I put a mousetrap in his underwear drawer. He used a lot of other words that shouldn't be repeated when I did that. In my defense, I didn't know the mousetrap would fall into his boxer briefs and then he would put them on. It's weird to see a grown man cry. As for my brother Stu, he's a turd and all, but we do have some things in common. We both love to play football, basketball, and baseball. The only problem is, no matter what sport we play, I end up on my brother's team. My dad only has enough time to be the coach for one of us, and he figures he can kill two birds with one stone by including me with all the older kids. For baseball, I bat ninth and have to bunt a lot. I get a lot of walks, though, because I'm short. In a moment, my whole life could change. For once, I can be the hero. The reason these thoughts are polluting my brain is because I'm about to step into the batter's box with a chance to win the game. We're in extra innings of a tie game, and I'm stepping up to the plate with a runner on second and nobody out. Clear your mind, OK? It's my time now. Just a little single, and I could drive in the winning run. I'm going to break this OK curse when I crush this next pitch and drive in the winning run. I look down the third baseline for the signs from Coach Dad. No! He's giving me the sign to bunt? I look away in disgust. He hollers at me. Got it, OK? Yeah, I got it. I readjust my helmet to send him the sign that I know what to do. Sacrifice myself yet again for the team. Normally, I wouldn't be upset with bunting, but if I get a hit, I can walk off the field as the hero. I can finally be a somebody. Plus, as Stu would say, the pitcher I'm up against totally has a spaghetti arm. Their best pitcher is out now, and they had to bring in this dude who throws total meatballs. Nice and slow, straight down the middle, hit me a mile, meatballs. I focus in as the pitcher lofts the ball towards me. It's a little high, the perfect pitch to get underneath and crush. Swing hard, OK? Whoosh! Oh no, I missed. I swung too soon with my wicked bat speed. The ball didn't get there quick enough. OK? Coach Dad shouts at me. Look at the signs. Do what I said. He gives me the bunt sign again. Reluctantly, I nod to him, notifying Dad that I will follow his orders. Everyone and their grandmother probably know I'm going to bunt after my dad yelled at me to look at the signs. I'm not kidding about the grandmother part. Some old lady in the bleachers shouts, He's gonna bunt! First and third baseman, move in! Get ready, OK? Here comes the pitch. Another fat, juicy meatball of a pitch right down the middle. I square my body and bunt it perfectly down the line. But the third baseman is charging fast. He picks it up and throws me out at first base by half a step. Hooray for me. I did my stupid job and now I'm out. The winning run is on third base, and up to the plate comes the leadoff hitter, my brother. I trudge back to the dugout, and all the older kids on the team show their appreciation for my sacrifice by slugging me in the shoulder or slapping me on the butt way too hard. I take my batting helmet off and watch Stu at the plate. He stands in the left batter's box, digs his back foot in, and turns his head toward the pitcher. The opposing pitcher comes set and softly tosses the pitch towards the plate. Stu uncoils his body, hips turn, chest toward the ball, hands whip forward, and the bat meets the ball in a violent collision. Crack! The sound leaves no doubt. My 14-year-old brother hammers the baseball and sends it flying out of the park. Home run. Game over. If you watch the major leagues, a home run doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Every player hits home runs. But in Little League, if you hit a home run, especially over a fence that is 325 feet deep down the line, that's a huge deal. Stu parades around the bases as our team tumbles out of the dugout to meet him at home. I reluctantly follow them. With a huge smile on his face, Dad high-fives Stu as he runs past third. Stu comes home, and our team mobs him as he jumps on home plate. After the celebration dies down, Stu walks back to the dugout with me and says, "Looks like you didn't need to bunt." "Thanks, Captain Obvious," I reply. Normally, that comment would get me a quick punch to the shoulder, but Stu must be in a good mood. He just shoves me instead. I just blew my chance at greatness when I swung and missed. I shouldn't have listened to Coach Dad. Why doesn't he have confidence in me? Well, I did disobey him and whiff when I took a chance. Maybe I just don't have what it takes to be a somebody like my brother. I'm just a nobody. Actually, I'm worse than nobody. I'm just okay. Chapter 2, Mediocreland. I should give up on sports. I think I'll try my hand at being an illustrator. I'll create some awesome comic book that gets turned into the next movie blockbuster. I know my pictures aren't great. They're only okay. My dad says if I just work really, really hard at something that I really, really like, I'll get great at it. But I don't know if I'll ever like anything really, really that much. I used to like maraschino cherries a ton, but I ate a whole jar of them at a birthday party. Then I puked. Now I think cherries are gross. I told my parents that story, and they laughed at me. That's not exactly what we meant, OK. I knew what they meant, but I still think maraschino cherries are foul. After the game, I started to wonder why I struggled to break out of Mediocreland. According to the doctor at my last checkup, I'm small for my age. I'm just over 4.5 feet on my tiptoes, and I pack 65 pounds of twisted steel on my razor-thin frame. I'm also at a disadvantage because I was born at 11:59 p.m. on August 31st. This is the worst day and time to be born because of how they separate the grade levels in school. If I had been born 1 minute later, I would be going into 6th grade with all the other 12-year-olds instead of 7th grade with the 13-year-olds. Then I'd be the oldest, biggest, and baddest man in my grade. I asked my mom why she didn't hold me back. She said, "I did for one day. All you did was cause trouble in preschool. You mixed all the paint colors and then tied other kids' shoelaces together and watched them fall down." Mom thinks I should focus on school and pay more attention in class. On my 6th grade report card, I got a couple of B's to go with my C's. But Mom wasn't impressed. "Getting a B these days is average. You should be getting an A in everything." "I got an A- in art," I said. "Maybe you should be an artist," Mom suggested. My folders, notebooks, and binders are covered with pictures, but I only like to doodle when I'm forced to sit still in school. Mom should have never bought me a Sharpie because I use it to draw all over my backpack. "But, Mom, I can't make the pictures in my head appear the way I want them to on the page. I can see it in my mind, but I can't make it happen when I draw." "Well then, keep working hard," she said, dismissing me with a wave of her hand. Working hard is stupid. What doesn't she understand? You've either got it or you don't. Take, for instance, drawing a picture of something fierce like a dragon. I can never get a picture to look all wicked nasty. I wanted this dragon to look like it was ready to destroy everything in its path, so I drew the face first. But it looked like he was constipated or something, so then I made him sit on the toilet. So, I'm not gifted at sports and I lack artistic talent. I'm handsome though. My curly blonde hair and piercing blue eyes captivate the ladies wherever I go. It's just that the only ladies that are captivated are my 2 grandmothers. "Otis, sweetie, you are just so cute," Grandma Lulu likes to say. Then she pinches my cheeks and ruffles my hair. I wish she didn't mess with my hair. She ruins the Japanese anime curly yet spiky hairstyle that I design every morning with the help of 2 tons of hair gel. However desperate my plight was in the past, there might just be a chance to break the curse soon. In a week, we're moving from the mean streets of the city out into the country. Maybe I can totally rule the new school since I'm so rough and tough. If I wear my Thug Life shirt the first day and draw some tats on my arms, I'll put those country bumpkins in check. The guys will live in fear, and the girls will swoon. But when I think about it, I bet my parents won't let me wear my Thug Life t-shirt the first day. That's okay, since I can't find it anyway. But I'll need to do something impressive right off the bat, since at my city school, the bigger kids picked on me constantly. My brother doesn't stick up for me either. He lets the older kids beat on me and then says, "I outsource my beatings at school." Unfortunately, fighting back with a Stu doesn't get me anywhere. He's like the Incredible Hulk. If you manage to hit him, it only makes him more dangerous. He's even got a stupid name for each one of his painful attacks. "You're miles away from anyone who can hear you scream," is Stu's favorite line. The only bright side of getting into enough ultimate fighting challenges with him is I've learned how to hold my own. I hope that helps me if I get into any trouble out in the middle of nowhere. My mother says, "We are moving into the middle of nowhere. It's called the suburbs." I don't believe her. There are farm fields and woods and no street lights. There are 3 things that I am excited about, though. 1, we're moving into a house instead of renting out one side of a duplex. 2, we're getting a bigger yard, which is nice. And 3, the best part about the move is I get my own room. No more nights when I have to sleep with one eye open. Stu likes to terrorize me, especially if I beat him at anything. Once, I beat him in a wrestling video game, and he gave me an elbow drop at 2 in the morning. It's about time for a room of my own. Ella, my sister, is younger than my brother and me, but she's always had her own room. Anyways, I guess it would be weird if I were sharing a room with her, the angelic brainiac. All Ella does is read, play the piano, or do homework. My brother and I know it's just a big act, so we nicknamed her Bad Sister. I honestly don't remember the last time I called her Ella. We pretty much leave Bad Sister alone unless she interferes with our bad selves. If she thinks we're going to stop playing football inside when Mom and Dad are gone, she's sorely mistaken. We haven't moved yet. That will happen the week after school starts when, as Dad put it, we close on the house. Dad switched his work schedule around so he could drive the 3 of us from the city to our new school in Boykinville for the first week, starting tomorrow. Chapter 3, Advice. It's a long drive from the city out to our new school. As we ride, Dad points out different places that he's worked at or been to. "Hey, that's the place where I played baseball in grade school," and "I worked at that golf course. My friend Harv would steal golf balls right off the green." A lot of what he says goes in one ear and out the other. I am too worried about my first day in the new school. I can tell that Stu is feeling the same way. When Stu is nervous, he stops picking on me and kind of has a blank stare, like he's looking at a dragon or something. I bet a dragon wouldn't mystify him, but that's what I'm usually imagining when I have a blank stare. Well, I daydream about that, or superpower robot suits. Bad Sister doesn't look nervous at all. She's probably getting ready to kiss the teacher's butt. "Oh, Miss Teacher, could I help you with anything?" she'll ask. Shameless. Just look at her with the glowing hair and the too fancy for school dress. I bet she even has an apple to give to the teacher. Just look at the smile on her face. Her butt kissing knows no bounds. This new school I'm going to is huge. Boykinville has the middle school and the high school connected. There are 6th graders all the way up to 12th graders in one monster-sized building. I'm in the middle of the middle school wing in the 7th grade. I hope I have good teachers. They better not let kids pick on the new kid. One bad part about this new school is they have less recess time than at my old school. They only let us burn off steam right after lunch. Dad turns off the highway, and we pull into the town of Boykinville. Only a few minutes from showtime now. Starting at a new school means a new reputation to build. Hey, I might be an instant hit with the 7th grade girls. I start wondering how many hot chicks I'll have to turn down. No, we can't go out. I'm going to the movies with Natasha tonight, I'll say. Oh, but Otis, you promised, one girl will swoon. Maybe I'll find some room in my schedule next month. All right, so that last part about the girls is a stretch, but you never know. I've never gone to a movie with a girl or done any boy-girl date stuff yet anyway. If I did take a girl to a movie, though, we'd go to a horror flick. That way, when my date got scared, I'd hold her close to keep her safe. But there's no time for dating now. You see, I'm kind of a loner, a rebel. I wasn't always a loner. My best friend Joey moved last year. He loved doing things like climbing trees with me, drawing our own comic books, and building robot suits out of cardboard. I couldn't find anyone else at my old school that was like that. Most of the time, other kids just wanted to play video games. But I get too bored sitting and staring at a screen. Are we close to school yet? Asks Bad Sister. Yeah, I have to drop off Stu and Otis first, though, Dad says. He turns his head a little to talk to my brother and me. You nervous? New schools can be tough, especially big ones like this. Stu grunts. I guess that means he's not nervous, even though I know he is. He's in 9th grade, a freshman. I'm in 7th, a lowly bottom feeder. I replied to my father, a little. I want to do great here. That's good, Otis. Just listen to the teacher and you'll be fine. No, not at schoolwork. I want to do something great, I declare. Stu laughs. You're great at picking boogers because that's your specialty, okay? Shut it, Stu, I say. Knock it off, Stu, and don't use that language, Otis. Mother doesn't like that. Now, Otis, look to join cross-country or track, Dad says. Getting me to be a runner is my dad's lifelong mission. He was a runner in high school and college. He still runs to stay in shape now. I once ran a 3-mile race with Dad, and ever since he's been after me to run all the time. Of course, I finished right smack in the middle. I tried to run fast, but running hurts. Plus, I threw up near the finish. Out of 99 runners, I finished 50th. Okay, you can show them how great you are at puking, Stu says. You and I are going to have a talk when we get home, Stu, Dad fires back. Sorry, Dad, Stu grumbles. They don't have sports for the middle schoolers, I reply. Maybe you could, start a baseball or basketball team for us and be the coach. I don't know. I'm going to have to drive a lot more since I still work in the city, but we live out here, Dad sighs. Don't worry, I add. I'll find something at school I'm a natural at and break the OK curse. Oh boy, you're still worried about that? Dad asks. You know, if you would try hard, you probably wouldn't think of yourself as average. I'm not going to be a no-life try-hard. Maybe it's my destiny to be just okay, I say. No, it's not, Dad replies. Besides, if you try hard at something and you end up being average, that is okay. If you are just okay at something because you didn't try hard, then that's not okay. That didn't make any sense, I respond. That made perfect sense, Bad Sister says. Dad holds out his hand, and Bad Sister gives him a high five. Dad says, well then, don't go and stick your neck out right away. With your Napoleon complex, you'll get your head chopped right off. Just get the lay of the land first. What's a Napoleon complex, I ask. It sounds like a shopping mall. He was a French general who was really short. He'd always try to prove how tough he was to overcompensate for his lack of height. I'm not that short, I say. Stu laughs at me, but Bad Sister says, be quiet, Stu. Sorry, Otis, Dad continues. My point is, you need to be careful when you're the new kid. I'm actually listening now, because this seems like one of those rare moments where a parent actually shares something worthwhile. What do you mean? I ask. See, you're new and all. Kids gravitate to new kids. Be friendly, but don't be a pushover. Don't hang out with people who are over-anxious to be your friend, and don't try to be a friend to someone who doesn't seem to want your company. Observation should be your strategy at first. How will that help me? I ask. First of all, what will you excel at? It has to be something that's respected by the other kids. You don't want to be the greatest in chess club if no one plays chess. However, if chess is all the rage, then you want to be the best in that. Find out what matters to them and then see if you can do that well. As long as you like to do that, the rest will fall into place. Can I play football this year? I'm good at that, Stu blurts. Sure, Stu, Dad says. I hope people don't call me OK here. I want to be Otis from now on, I say. Maybe if people don't call me OK, I'll break the curse. Whatever, OK, Stu says. I gotta side with Stu on this one, Otis. You don't get to pick your nickname, Dad says as he pulls into the school parking lot. All right, we're here. Stay alert and stay alive, boys. Chapter 4, Ninja and Turkey. Become one with the shadows. That's what goes through my head as I step out of the car. My goal is simple today. I've got to keep a low profile. It's O.N. as in Otis Ninja, sneaking around in stealth mode, like a black cat in the middle of the night. I will blend in seamlessly. No one will even know that I'm new unless I tell them. Stu and I merge with the massive group of students standing near the large double-door entrance. I want some nunchucks. Holy buckets, the kids are big here. They're all probably taller and older than me. I'll use this to my advantage. Being small makes it easier to hide. I stand by the wall of the school, looking around to get the lay of the land. To my right, I spot a very attractive, dark-haired girl who's a little shorter than me. Bonus! For a moment, I think she waves at me, and I'm about to wave back when another girl walks right in front of me and says, Nori, good to see you. I guess that wave wasn't meant for me. Of course it wasn't. I'm in stealth mode. I casually slide close by to listen in on their conversation. All I have so far is that the really cute girl's name is Nori. A ninja's best weapon is information. Stu elbows me to get my attention and totally blows my cover. Hey, dork! Ask someone how he signed up for the football team. They don't have football for the 7th grade. Besides, I don't want to play football. You ask someone. Fine, booger nose. Stu spots the nearest boy and slaps him on the back. Hey, man, my brother, whose name is O.K., won't help me, Stu says as he stares at me. I slide away from him and hide in the crowd. Stu continues talking to the boy. You know how I can sign up for a football team? I'm new here. Looks like Stu didn't listen to my dad at all about getting the lay of the land before drawing attention to himself. However, Otis Ninja is one with the crowd. Ring goes the bell, and we're off. I figure it shouldn't be too hard to blend in here. There are kids from 6 different elementary schools, so it's huge. A giant pubescent melting pot. Whose idea was it anyway to put little shrimps like me with behemoth seniors in the same school? It might be harder for Stu because the high school freshmen already know each other. Wait a minute. I shouldn't be worrying about Stu. He'll find some meatheads to hang out with. A muscle-bound, bald man stands in the hallway directing traffic. He points down different corridors shouting, High schoolers to your left, middle schoolers to your right. I swerve to the right and fall in line behind a group of girls who are twice my height. Did they make the wrong turn? I listen in to their conversation. This is so totally unfair, the tall blonde one says. I know, right? The towering curly-haired brunette responds. The blonde continues. How could they split us up from the rest of the school? The older boys are so much hotter. That's enough eavesdropping on that conversation. With ninja-like quickness, I veer around the girls and head towards my homeroom. Did I shrink over the summer? I'm right by the room, but there's a woman standing right in the middle of the door. She must be the teacher. No avoiding that. She's greeting each student as they come in. The teacher reminds me of the sassy ladies that sing in the gospel choir at the church I go to in the city. When she talks, she sways back and forth like there's so much attitude in her body she can't contain it all. I already know I'm going to toe the line in her class. Here we go. I walk up to her, and she greets me with a smile. Welcome to your homeroom. I'm Mrs. Neely. What's your name, young man? I'm Otis. I'm happy to be in your class, Mrs. Neely, I reply. I guess I've learned some things from Bad Sister. Charm can get you pretty far in life. Well, aren't you sweet, Otis? Now go in there and find your schedule. Whatever desk your schedule is on, that's your assigned seat. Thank you. I say, for real. Thank you, Mrs. Neely. The last thing I wanted was to pick my own seat. Now, at least, if I'm stuck sitting next to some goofy girl or snot-nosed kid, I can blame it on the teacher. Whoa, double bonus! I'm in the back corner, right by the teacher's desk to boot. This is excellent because I can zone out and draw pictures while Mrs. Neely is up front. Then, when she's back by her desk, I can ask her questions because I missed what she was talking about. All right, now I'm just going to sit down quietly. I'm a ninja. Who are you? Squeaks someone. I turn to my right, and all I see is a big puff of hair. I'm Otis. Who are you? I return the favor. I'm Leo Neely. My mom is the teacher, he states. I'm new here, and so are you. My mom, Mrs. Neely, put us together because we're both new here. Remind me to call her Mrs. Neely, by the way. She said she was going to take away my birthday if I called her mom in school. We're going to be friends, I can already tell. Do you like robots or dragons, I ask. Both, he declares. Good answer. One problem, though. My dad said I should wait before I decide who to be friends with. Leo pauses and scratches his head. Well, sounds like your father's a bright man. Maybe we should put our friendship on probationary status. What's that mean? It means that we'll act like we're friends for, a week, and then we'll review our current status to determine if this relationship is working out, Leo explains. He knows some big words, doesn't he? At the very least, I want him to be as my partner in any group projects. Agreed. We're friends until further notice. Now all we need is a secret handshake. Easy. You give me 5. Leo puts out his hand like he's about to give me 5, and instead he makes his hand into a fist, but keeps his thumb out. Turkey! High 5 plus fist equals turkey. Asterisk. Thumb must be extended on fist. Chapter 5. The Boykinville Board of Beasts. When do we have gym, lunch, and recess? I really want to ask, but I'm kind of scared of Mrs. Neely. She's all business. Apparently some students are braver than I am, and one boy gets up to try and sharpen a pencil while she's talking. Where do you think you're going, young man? Mrs. Neely snaps. The kid freezes in place by the pencil sharpener, too scared to speak. You can wait to sharpen that. I'll tell you when you can move. Matter of fact, I'll tell you all when you can move. Her whole body sways as she emphasizes her point. The boy returns to his seat, and a few other classmates murmur to each other as Mrs. Neely continues to go through her rules of the classroom routine. I stare at the kids and try to send them telepathic messages to stop. But Mrs. Neely jumps in. Excuse me? You know I see and hear everything in this classroom, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing or hearing right about now. I turn and look at Leo. He just looks back and shrugs his shoulders. I guess this is pretty routine stuff. My eyes go back to studying my schedule, but I can't figure out when we go to our next class. A boy near the front raises his hand. Yes, Mrs. Neely says. Can I use the bathroom? I gotta go bad, he moans. It's not time for the bathroom. We'll be leaving for gym class in 5 minutes, and you can stop on the way, Mrs. Neely responds. I don't think I can make it. You're in 7th grade now. It's time to develop a little more control over your bodily functions. Did she really just say that? The whole class chuckles. Mrs. Neely sighs. I'll allow it this time, but you better get yourself on a schedule so you don't interrupt my instructional time with your bathroom breaks. What if you're a girl and you have, girl issues? Horace Petrino shouts without raising his hand or being called on. I know his name because he put 2 name tags on his t-shirt. One tag for his first name and the other for his last. He's obviously used to being the class clown. Are you a girl? No. The last thing you need to worry about is women, Horace Petrino. When we go to the gym, you and I are going to have a talk. You understand? You can't just blurt out like that. Yes, Mrs. Neely. Horace hangs his head. You kids are getting on my nerves. Trying to test me already? I bet you're getting tired of all these rules and procedures. Tell you what, let's go to the gym, because every other day you have gym first hour. You can get your wiggles out there so we can get back to work when we come back here, Mrs. Neely says. We line up in what I think are 2 straight lines, but apparently they aren't up to Mrs. Neely's standards. She has us line up 2 more times just to get the routine down. She wants us to work with military-grade precision for everything. Off we marched to the gym. I noticed it when I walked in, but I'm still amazed at the height of the girls in the school. I know some girls were starting to grow faster last year in school, but something must have happened over the summer. Dear goodness, there are some country-strong women in these parts. There it is, the gym, a place where I can run free like a Mustang. My parents know I need to run around sometimes. When they're tired of me bouncing off the walls inside, they kick me out and make me run laps around the house. In school, I don't have that option, so when I get the chance to move around, you better believe I take it. I strut into the gym. What a fabulous place! Fluorescent lights gleam on the freshly waxed wooden floor. I take a whiff of the magnificent aroma. I love the smell of varnish and body odor in the morning. First up, we run some laps. It's so hard to contain myself. As I'm running, I notice something up on the walls. Are those records? Wham! Did you just run into the wall? One of the Amazon-sized girls asks. Yeah, I think I just did. I scramble back up and start running again. So much for being a ninja today. But thank goodness for padded walls. The Amazon girls laugh as I whip by them, but I'm already thinking about what I saw. The Boykinville Board of Beasts? Are those school records or something? They must be. Sit-ups, pull-ups, the shuttle run, and the dreaded mile run. How long have those records been up there? Are they tough to break? What's with the beast name? After a few more minutes of running around the perimeter of the gym, the teacher blows his whistle. We all take a seat and listen to what he has in store for us. Shiny bald head, pulsing veins, standard issue gym teacher whistle. All right, youngsters, my name is Mr. Glowster. I'm the Boykinville Beasts Varsity High School coach for football, track, and baseball. My job there is to win championships. I'm also the junior high gym teacher. My job here is to keep you from getting all fat and obese. Aren't fat and obese like the same thing? I better not ask. Mr. Glowster looks pretty ripped. He was the guy directing traffic in the hall. His short sleeve shirt looks like it's 2 sizes too small. Bulging biceps and monster forearms are on full display. The gym lights glisten on his shaved head. I only get you a couple days a week, so we'll be playing hard when I've got you. Lord knows you won't be doing anything on your own time. Probably too busy playing video games or messing with your computers. Getting all soft and puffy. That's not an option in here, cupcakes and crumpets, he shouts. Mr. Glowster points to me. What's your name? Your name, son. This can't be good. Doesn't he know I'm trying to keep a low profile? I'm O.K, I mutter. He's new here. I know because his brother asked me about football. His nickname's O.K, says Horace Petrino. Oh no, everyone here knows my nickname now. Mr. Glowster scowls at Horace. Did I ask you to speak, Petrino? No, but... Mr. Glowster points at Horace. You know the drill from last year. Give me 5 laps and don't open your mouth. Horace gets up and starts running around the gym. Mr. Glowster turns his attention back to me. Kalshwanki, why did you run into the wall? I give him a blank look. He points at the wall. That wall! Well, I was looking up at those. I turn and look at the records on the wall. The Boykinville Board of Beasts? You think you've got what it takes to break a school record, Kalshwanki? Those records are reserved for beastly people, the best of the beasts. None of you kids will make it on that wall unless you're ready to work hard. And you're all used to hardly working. In 9 weeks at the end of the quarter, you'll get your chance at breaking a record. I hear some kids whispering. Looks like they're as impressed by these athletic feats as I am. This is what my dad was talking about. I could take one of those records down. I've got to memorize these things. I wonder which one is my best shot. Sit-ups, pull-ups, the shuttle, or the mile. I don't even know what a shuttle run is. Do I have to race a space shuttle? What once was a cloudy future has now become crystal clear. My mission is simple. Otis Kalshwanki will be the next name written onto the Boykinville Board of Beasts. People won't know me as OK anymore. My full name will be plastered on that wall for eternity. I'll set a record so ridiculous, so amazing, that my name will be there until the apocalypse. Other schools will take a tour of our gym just so they can look at the unbelievable records that I've set. The Guinness Book of World Records will stop publishing simply because only one name will be necessary for the whole book. I'll run into Chuck Norris, and when I ask him for an autograph, he won't give it to me because he'll want mine instead. My amazing feats will make people bow down in awe. They will chant, "Hooray, Otis!" No longer will I be stuck in the cursed valley of mediocrity. I will climb the steep hills, battle my way over treacherous landscapes, and overcome all obstacles. I will reach the top of the mountain. Now, I'm getting carried away. It would be pretty sweet if I could set a record, though. Why, yes, I am wearing undies on the outside of my pants. Chapter 6, The O.K. Curse. The first week of school buzzes by. I managed to avoid crashing into any more walls. All my classes are pretty interesting, and the science teacher springs a sudden science fair on us Friday evening. Thankfully, I haven't done anything stupid to alienate Leo, so he agrees to let me work with him and Horace for the science fair. Leo isn't loaded with manic energy like I am, but that's a good thing. I could learn a thing or two from a cool customer like him. Horace is kind of my friend too. At lunch, we all sit together. I figure if Mrs. Neely will let Leo hang out with Horace, he can't be that bad. We come up with the coolest project idea. We call it the Chemical Warfare Robotic Beast. Silly string hidden in jaw. Asterisk contents highly flammable. Pull the pin to release Mentos into Diet Cola. Right now, the three of us are at our booth in the cafeteria, which serves as the temporary home for our school science fair. On the table in front of us is our beautiful metallic creation. I came up with the design, Leo determined what materials we needed, and then Horace was able to weld and duct tape our invention together. The arms hold on to two 20-ounces of Diet Cola. The reason we added the chemical warfare part to the robotic beast is because of what happens when Mentos hits a carbonated beverage. In our beast, 6 Mentos mint candies are held in a clear cylinder right above the soda. When they drop into the soda bottle, the rougher surface of the sugar-coated Mentos hits the carbon dioxide in the soda, creating loads of fizz. The fizz has nowhere to go in the soda bottle, so it shoots out like gangbusters. I'm not so sure about using the word chemical, when technically what happens when the Mentos hit the soda is a physical reaction called nucleation. At least, that's what I discovered through my research, Leo says. Horace shakes his head and says, "But physical warfare robotic beast sounds awkward." "True," Leo says. "Why diet soda, though?" Horace asks. "Okay, are you on a diet?" I laugh. "No, I've found through trial and error that regular soda is way stickier when it dries up. Diet soda doesn't have real sugar in it, or should I say, real high fructose corn syrup. That stuff is delicious." "I know, right?" Horace agrees. I add, "All I know is this thing better win the contest because I'm tired of the OK curse." "OK isn't a curse word," Horace blurts. "No, my name is Otis Kelshwanki, so my initials are OK. That's how I got the nickname," I mutter. Leo nods, showing he understands, but Horace just sits there with a blank stare on his face. After a moment, he smiles. "Oh, now I get it. You're OK. And you're just OK." I shrug. Everything I try, I always end up right in the middle. I think I'm cursed to be average forever. "Whoa! Did like an evil witch or wizard blast you or something?" Horace asks. "No, at least I don't think so," I say. "Don't be afraid of a name," Leo says. "It's not like you're named Voldemort. OK is a cool nickname." "Maybe you have to do something to break the curse," Horace says. "Like slay a dragon like Bilbo Baggins." I laugh. Leo chuckles and says, "Bilbo didn't slay any dragons. He just stole a golden cup from a dragon." "Oh, but slaying a dragon like Bilbo Baggins sounds sweet. It kind of rhymes and stuff," Horace says. Leo points to our science fair neighbors. "I think we have a chance to win, but there are a few cool things here. Take a look at Nori's booth." One table away from us, Nori and her friend demonstrate their science fair creation to a gaggle of science teachers. At their booth, they have different colored flames burning, and they are explaining the different materials that fuel each flame, making them any color of the rainbow. Nori explains to the teachers, "So you see, the color of the flames helps astronomers determine the atomic composition of stars." "Those flames are pretty cool," I say to Leo and Horace. "Good thing I have a backup plan for the OK curse. I want to set a school record in gym class, and I'll have to put my full name on the board. That's a great idea. I'll set a record too, Horace says. Well, maybe we all can, Leo adds. Otis, I'll look into this curse a little more for you. Maybe I can come up with some ideas on how to get rid of it. Don't make me some gross potion to drink. I have a weak stomach. OK curse potion. 1 part rat skulls, 1 part frog legs, 3 parts wheatgrass. Horace says, Don't worry, OK, we'll win for sure today. Did you guys notice the silly string stuck in the robot's jaws? He reaches out to push on the robot's head. Leo shouts as Horace pushes on the robot. Horace, wait! That stuff is highly flammable! Leo's warning is too late. Silly string blasts out of the beast and hits the girl's fire display. The string immediately bursts into flames. Nori, her friend, and the teachers scatter away from the table. A few stunned spectators shout, Fire! Fire! Stand back! I yell as I grab the robot and walk towards the fire. I pulled the string on both arms of the chemical warfare robotic beast. Immediately, 2 jets of diet soda suds douse the flames. The fire dies immediately, and a few seconds later, the streams of foam stop pouring out of the beast. I slowly walk towards Nori's table, careful not to slip on the huge soda puddle on the ground. Yep, the fire is out. All that remains is brown fizzy liquid covering her science fair project. The cafeteria is dead silent for a moment, and then Horace belts out, That was awesome! First place for that guy right there! After the science fair is over, the 3 of us walk out of the school, our shoulders slumping. I say, 13th place for this guy right here. 13 out of 25, no less, Horace adds. Leo adds, right in the middle. Horace says, Our project was way better than that. Sorry, OK, I messed up. Unless it happened because you really are cursed. Don't worry, Horace, I am. See you later, partners. My dad is parked right over there. I gotta get home and prepare for moving day tomorrow. I hop in the car, and Dad peels out of the school parking lot. We head toward the city. Tonight will be my last night at our city duplex. Tomorrow, the Kelshwanki family makes the official move to the boonies. Chapter 7, Moving Day. Dad wakes me up early Saturday morning. I get dressed and scarf down some cereal. My dad, my brother, and I have a long day ahead of us. Mom and Dad's sister already are out at the new house with some of the lighter items. Uncle Ryan is here too. He works for the Navy, so he's all buff and stuff. I might be the smallest one here, but I'll show all 3 of them that I'm just as much of a man as they are. One advantage of working on the failed science project is I forgot about having to help move. I shouldn't have spent all this effort on the science fair because I didn't get to work out. I need to build my body into a machine instead of trying to build silly machines. Turn the page, OK? I'll break a school record in gym. I did find out one thing. Horace explained to me what the shuttle run is. Basically, you run back and forth a bunch of times. It tests your speed and how quickly you can change directions. It's a good thing I'm as fast as a cheetah and have the quickness of a mongoose. That record is mine. I'm not so sure about the sit-ups, pull-ups, or the mile run, though. Those would be tough. How could I train for the mile and not kill myself in the process? Running long distances is brutal. It's not like other sports. You play baseball, soccer, basketball, and football. You don't play running. It's not like someone comes up to you at recess and says, Hey, OK, let's go running. It's so much fun. Stu and I usually go with my dad when he does a workout on the track, but we don't run with him. When we're all there after my dad finishes his workout, my brother and I race 1 lap on the track. All Stu does is run right behind me until the final straightaway, and then he blows my doors off. What a jerk. I'll beat him one day. The best part about attempting to break the 7th grade records is Stu isn't already on the board of beasts, since he didn't go to school here 2 years ago. I sort of wonder if I'd have a shot in a longer race like the mile. But then I dismissed the idea. The shuttle run, it is. Moving day will definitely be a test of my physical limitations. We have to move all the heavy furniture into the moving van. I wish I had the strength of 10 men, like Hercules. Did Hercules only have the strength of 10 boys when he was my age? Never mind that. I know what would be better. I wish I had telekinetic powers. Then I would just move couches with my mind. After finishing my cereal, I set the spoon on the table and stare at it. Move, spoon. Move! I can feel the cool curved steel with my mind. Is the spoon shaking? It's going to levitate. Stop staring at the spoon. We've got work to do, Stu shouts. I guess the spoon wasn't moving. I get up from the table, grab the nearest box, and pack it in the truck. My brother, my father, Uncle Ryan, and I totally dominate at moving the big furniture. We work seamlessly as we load up the truck. I work up a pretty good sweat, especially when we have to move the washer and dryer up the stairs. Good job, men, Dad declares as he closes the back of the door on the moving truck. Let's take a ride. Uncle Ryan walks towards his car and waves. See you fellas later. You gotta get back home to the wife. Thanks, Ryan, Dad shouts. We all wave as Uncle Ryan hops into the car. Stu shoves me towards the truck. Otis sits in the middle. Fine, I'll sit in the middle, but I get the corner on the way back. Okay, we aren't coming back. We're moving, Dad reminds me. Yeah, we're moving, moron, Stu adds. Stu, knock it off, Dad says. Sorry, Dad. All right, boys, take a good look at the old house. A lot of good memories were had here, Dad says. Is he getting all nostalgic on us now? He's right, though. This has been home my whole life. Stu asks, remember that time when me and Otis lost our boots in the muddy garden? Dad chuckles. Yeah, we never found one of them. Too bad the store wouldn't let me buy just one boot for half price. What about when we set up the slip and slide and I slid too far and ended up in the road? We all laugh. I say, my favorite memory is sitting outside on the 4th of July this year when you let us all stay up late. We made s'mores and lit off bottle rockets, and one landed in the gutter. Stu says, oh, it was freaky. Thought the house was going to start on fire. Yep, good times, boys, good times. Let's hop in before Stu starts crying. Dad gives Stu a shove. Yeah, right, Dad. Stu smirks and pushes my father back. Then my father shoves me. That's probably about as caring as we three men get. A good shove from one to another is like a hug. I know we all love each other, but sometimes things are best left unsaid. Besides, I'd much rather punch my brother or my father in the shoulder to show them how much I care about them. I know they feel the same way. Well, I miss my old house and old friends. Maybe a little. But ever since Joey moved away, it's been kind of lonely. I'm ready for a new adventure. The ride to the house is slow going. My father probably doesn't want to take any turns too fast and have all the furniture and valuables in the back of the truck topple over. Classic rock blares on the radio as the scenery changes from busy boulevards and shopping malls to country roads and farmland. We enter our new subdivision, which we've already nicknamed the Boonies. Bad Sister is outside drinking lemonade when we roll up to our new home. Hey, boys, we made you some fresh lemonade, she hollers. Thanks, Bad Sister, I shout. Is it made with real lemons? Asks Stu. No, it's lemonade-flavored Kool-Aid, even better, she says. This is the life, I say as I chug the sweet nectar. As I put down my cup, I see a familiar head of hair across the street. Is that Leo? Hey, Otis, Leo shouts. Dad, can I go talk to Leo? I ask. Sure, but be quick because we're only half done with our moving job. I nod to Dad and run across the street. Hey, Leo, you live in this neighborhood? Yeah, that's my house, he says as he motions to the ranch house behind him. You're moving in there? Yep, we just got the last of our things at our old house today. I'm sleeping here tonight. Cool. We should start training together soon and make it onto the board beasts, Leo says. So you want to break a record too? That's awesome. My dad says that great minds think alike, but then again he says that stupid minds think alike too. Leo chuckles. Well, we're not stupid. I actually got the idea after Mr. Gloatsker was berating you, and then you were carrying on about it at lunch. My mom says I need to exercise more anyway. Yeah, we could work out like every day. Well, not today since I have to move in, starting tomorrow. Want to be friends for real now? Definitely. My mom doesn't like sleepovers. We can just hang out during the daytime. No worries. I don't like sleepovers either. When I fall asleep, I'm really out of it, so whenever I'm at a sleepover, people draw stuff on my face. Permanent marker. My old friends weren't so good at spelling. Let's shake on it. Let's turkey on it, Leo says. We perform our secret handshake, and I hustle back home. Stu stomps across the street and interrupts our conversation. Come on, Wimpy McWimster. Help me move your bed into your room, he demands. That's right. I have my own room. There better not be any snakes or demons in this house because now I'm all alone. Maybe I took my feeling of safety for granted rooming with Stu all these years, despite his surprise attacks. Things that scare me at night. Alien demons, goat man, snakes, vampire bats, clowns. Chapter 8. The Star Wars Lunchbox. Dad was a big Star Wars fan back in the day. One of his prized possessions from the first series of movies is a Luke Skywalker lunchbox. I found it in an old box when we were moving, and I knew it had to be mine. Can I have it, Dad? I'll use it for my school lunch, I ask. The power of the Force surges throughout my body as I caress the cool steel exterior. My hands gently lift the heavenly object out of the cardboard box. In my mind, the mystic voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi rings out, Use the lunchbox, Otis. Dad brings me right back to reality. I don't know, Otis. You probably just lose it. He's coming out strong with a counter-argument. How can I persuade him? Let's go with flattery. You were probably pretty cool with this lunchbox at school, I say. Well, yeah, I guess, but a lot of kids had Star Wars lunch pails. Does anyone use a lunch pail at your school? No, they all use brown paper bags, but I want to go retro. I'll be hip to the scene, man. Just listen to the swagger. Dad won't be able to resist now that I'm using his old slang. Hip to the scene, huh? How will that keep you from not losing it? Well, I won't lose it. I guarantee I won't. There's a 0.0 chance of me losing this lunchbox. Really? That's what you said about your last backpack. And your basketball shoes. And your Thug Life t-shirt. Shall I go on? Dad is really throwing down the gauntlet here. Well, this is different, see? Even if I lose it, which I won't, no one else has a lunchbox like this. So then everyone will know it's mine and return it to me. But that's not ever going to happen anyway because I'm so responsible now that I'm in 7th grade. Come on, Dad. How did you lose a pair of shoes anyways? Dad asks. Let's not focus on the past. I'm a new man. A trustworthy man in a new land, I poetically respond. Fine. You better not break it either. Don't let me down. That last little bit was a powerful statement by my father. Don't let me down. I can handle being grounded, or not getting fed dinner, or getting money taken away, or the routine beatings by my brother, but disappointing Dad? That's one thing I don't want to do. I'm not worried, though, because now I have the power of the Force on my side. Oh, Dad, thanks! Maybe, if I walk the path of the Jedi and shun the dark side, this lunchbox could even help me get on the board of beasts. With the Force, anything is possible. I snatch the Star Wars lunchbox, shove my father to show some affection, and run upstairs with it. What's not to like about this metal receptacle? Luke brandishes a lightsaber menacingly on the front, keeping anyone who has strayed to the dark side at bay. A sturdy bolt keeps the lid secure. There's ample room inside for multiple juice boxes, sandwiches, fruit, and countless cookies. Monday morning comes. My brother and I share the bus stop with Leo and a few 8th graders. Instead of placing my new prized possession in my backpack, I carry my Star Wars lunchbox in my right hand, like a businessman carries a briefcase. Check it out, Leo! I hold up my lunchbox for him to gaze upon. Cool! Is that Luke Skywalker from episodes 4 through 6? He asks, but I can tell from his tone he knows full well it is. Yes, the Force is strong with you, young Padawan, I answer. Stu groans. You guys are idiots. Jealous, Stu is, I say. Leo and I both chuckle. All day in class, I draw random Star Wars pictures where I'm fighting with my lightsaber in one hand and my lunchbox in the other. Luckily, only got called on once in math, and my neighbor bailed me out. Bring! Lunchtime! I scurry out of class to my locker. Quickly, I spin the dial, pop open my locker, and pull out my new treasure. Normally, I speed walk down the hall to get to lunch, but I slow my roll today. There's no rush now that I have something this fabulous to show off. As I walk towards the lunchroom, I make sure to make eye contact with as many kids as possible. Up ahead, in the middle of the hallway, the Amazon girls huddle around the one with the blonde hair. She must be the queen of the Amazons. Instead of walking around, I gently swing my hand back and forth to draw more attention to my Star Wars lunchbox and head right towards them. They all turn to look at me as my metal lunchbox rattles with each swing. "What's that?" asks the queen of the Amazons. She rolls her eyes behind a cloud of mascara. "Why, this old thing? Well, it's a classic Star Wars lunchbox, that's all." "It's stupid. No one here uses lunchboxes," the queen snarls. Lightning bolts shoot from her fingers. How dare she insult such a wonderful object? She must be a Sith Lord in disguise. I don't have a witty comeback ready, so I just stand there, staring at the queen. Her beady eyes are surrounded by black eyeliner and heavy eyeshadow for that "I'm young, but I really want to be old" look. "Stop staring at me, creep," the queen says, and all of her toadies laugh. I put my head down and walk around the Amazons and into the lunchroom. Leo and Horace are calmly waiting for me at our table. They've saved a spot, since I was slow getting into the lunchroom due to my failed attempt for some positive attention. "Thanks for saving me a spot, guys." "Sure thing, okay," says Horace. "No problem, Otis," Leo replies. He stares at me, and I look down at my lunchbox. He asks, "What's wrong?" "You know the tall, blonde-haired girl, the queen of the Amazons? She made fun of my lunchbox," I say. "Queen of the Amazons? Great name for her," Leo smiles. "Don't sweat it, okay? They make fun of me for my afro. They think style is something you can buy in the mall. Just ignore them." Leo points up to the gym wall. "Want to start training tonight? Mr. Glotzer said we'd be tested on those events at the end of the first quarter." "How could I forget the Boykinville Board of Beasts?" "Yeah, tonight after school, let's do it," Horace adds. "Guys, I can't work out with you. I have to tend to my goats. I'll work out with them, though, and get wicked quick for the shuttle run." "How will tending to your goats help you to get better at the shuttle run?" I ask. "Well, I let them get loose in the pen, and then I try to tackle them," Horace says. "You guys can come over and do it, too." My mom doesn't want us to leave the neighborhood to work out," I say. Mom really never told me that I couldn't leave our neighborhood, but I guarantee she doesn't want me wrestling goats. Chapter 9, Sausage Link. Leo points out the window of the school bus. "Is that a puppy in your front yard?" I look toward our front yard while the bus creeps to our stop. My mom and bad sister are standing in the front yard with a little white dog. "Sure looks like it," I reply. Leo, Stu, and I get up and exit the bus. I shouldn't be surprised that Mom got a dog. She has always wanted one because she had a dog as a kid. We didn't have much of a yard in the city, plus it was against the rental agreement, but now we have our own home, so I knew a dog would join us. "Awesome, Mom! You got a dog!" Stu shouts. He runs up to the pup. The little thing wiggles around vigorously and jumps up towards Stu. "Is it full grown or a puppy?" "It's about 9 months old, so it's still a puppy, but it won't get much bigger," Mom beams. "I picked him up from the Humane Society right after work. Your father and I actually chose him a few days ago, but we couldn't bring him home until the paperwork cleared." Leo, Bad Sister, and Stu all surround the dog and shower it with affection. Bad Sister gushes over the little guy. "Isn't he so cute?" I guess the dog is cute in a homely sort of way. He has a long snout, one ear that points up while the other flops over, and a curly tail like a pig. "He is kind of cute," I agree. "What kind of dog is he?" Mom answers. "The lady at the Humane Society said he's a bunch of different breeds. He's 25% Border Collie, 25% German Shepherd, and 50% unknown." "He's a mutt," Stu says. "Is he half pig?" I ask. "Otis Kelschwanke," my mother gasps. "He most certainly is not." Notice the pig-like tail. "It's just that his tail looks kind of weird," I say. "Well, mixed breeds get all sorts of different unique traits, but mutts are more mentally stable than purebred dogs," Mom says. I lean down and put my hand under the dog's chin. It bends down and sniffs my hand, and then gives my hand a big wet lick. I cringe, but I still smile. A dog's tongue is way softer and sloppier than a rough cat tongue. Now, the Humane Society didn't give him a proper name, even though he's already 9 months old. So it will be up to us to name him, Mom says. What do you think, OK? One thing I've learned from my parents is that when you name an animal, the weirder, the better. For some reason, we have named our 2 cats after different foods. Licorice for our black cat, and cucumber for our calico. Well, since he's part pig, I'd like to name him Sausage Link, I declare. What? Mom gasps. Or pork chop, Stu hollers. The other white meat, Bad Sister bellows. Really? You kids are ridiculous. When Dad gets home, we'll decide. Right now, I'm going for a walk with our new puppy, Mom says. If any of you sassy children care to join me, you're welcome to. Just go get me a garbage bag in case the dog goes poop. Leo can do that, I say. No way, he laughs. We gotta go work out, remember? Sorry, Mom, we've got other work to do. I scamper away. Bad Sister scowls. No, thank you, Mother. I'm not in for that either, Stu says. We all scatter, leaving Mom with the dog. And with that, she drags her new family member down the sidewalk. Maybe later I'll take the dog for walks, but I don't want to sign up for cleanup duty. More like cleanup duty. I already have to clean the cat's litter box. Will I also have to hunt for turds in the yard every day? That kind of thing might interfere with my intense training regimen. I know the argument that taking care of a pet teaches the kid responsibility, but when a parent talks about responsibility, it seems like a way of saying the kid has to do the stuff that the parent doesn't want to do. Leo and I get a good workout in at the park while Mom is walking the dog. After he goes home, I park it on the couch in front of the TV. Just as I'm getting comfortable, I hear Mom shouting. I put down the cheese balls I'm munching on and look out the back window. Otis! Stu, help! The puppy got loose! I spring into action and bolt out the sliding glass door. Mom says, Otis! He ran away when I unclipped the leash. Do you see him? Yeah, Mom, I'll get him. I snatch the leash from my mother's hand. With total disregard to private property, I dash through countless backyards. I've got to get to this dog before I lose sight of him. Sausage Leg! I holler. That's not his name! My mother shouts from far away. It's times like these where I feel like a true action hero. Don't worry, citizens. I will catch this rampaging rabid dog before he can harm anyone. Luckily, the puppy isn't running at a quick clip. He's just wandering around, maybe looking for places to mark his territory. As I run towards him, the puppy tinkles on at least 3 different trees. How can he hold that much liquid in his bladder? Now I'm close. I'm a little winded, as I probably ran top speed for at least 3 minutes, but I slow to a jog in the hope that I won't startle our new pet. Hey, little guy, want to come with me? I ask in the nicest high-pitched pet voice I can muster. The puppy looks at me and looks away. I'm pretty close now. Just a few more feet and I can probably grab his collar. Hi, pup, can I pet you? I slowly reach my hand closer, and the dog flinches. It still faces me, but it gets real low with its head, and it sticks out its front paws, while the back side of him is still high up. I don't know if it's planning to bite me or just wants to play. It's okay, little Sausage Link, I'm your friend, I reassure the dog. The dog jostles a little back and forth playfully, but I inch my hand closer. Then it stops and sniffs my hand. Brilliant! The cheese ball residue is still on my fingers. The puppy starts licking my fingers gently. Carefully, I sidle around so I can use my other hand to grab the dog by the collar. Is that cheese dust on your fingers? Gotcha, little man! The puppy doesn't resist as I hold him by the collar. He's too interested in my cheesy hands. Sorry, buddy. I gotta use this hand to put the leash back on. I take my hand away so I can clip the leash onto his collar. It's a long walk home because the puppy wants to sniff every bush, tree, and fence post. Mom, Stu, and Bad Sister are waiting at the edge of our yard. You did it, Otis! Thank you so much! Mom looks down at the puppy. You're a naughty little guy, aren't you? I gotta keep my eye on you, little cutie. It was luck, really. Sausage Link here only came to me because I had cheese ball dust on my fingers. He licked my hand while I grabbed his collar. His name isn't Sausage Link, Mom grumbles. It's only fair that Otis gets to pick, Mom. He saved the dog, Bad Sister reasons. Well, I don't really like Sausage Link, Mom says. That name is lame, adds Stu. How about Cheese Ball, I suggest. I guess Sausage Link isn't that bad compared to Cheese Ball. Can I call him Sauce or Saucy? Mom asks. Sure, I say. Looks like you're a Sausage Link after all, you saucy poochie poo, Mom says. Chapter 10. Don't do pull-ups in the closet. Boxes, and more boxes are piled up in my room. Even though I caught Sausage Link, my mother won't let me go over to Leo's house to play until I finish unpacking. I told her that I'm not going over to play. I have serious goals I'm trying to achieve. I need to work out and get totally ripped. Not only will I be on the board of beasts at school, but also, if the washing machine ever breaks down, I can use my washboard abs to clean clothes. Mom says that it will be a good enough workout for me to unpack in my room. No, it won't. Leo and I only have 8 weeks to get in shape. What's even worse is I can't go on the internet to research different ways to prepare for any of the events. We don't have anything electronic hooked up yet at the house. No TV, no computer, no nothing. Mom says the cable guy's coming tomorrow. I can't ask anyone for advice either. If Stu were around, he'd have some idea, but he left for football practice. Dad still isn't back from work yet. Bad Sister would probably be useless because she hates sweating, and Mom would just tell me to clean something. I guess I could do some sit-ups. I wedged my feet under my dresser and managed 12 sit-ups in a row. Not bad for my first effort. Now it's time for some pull-ups. Right inside my closet, there's a perfect place for me to get my upper body strength built up. Without any of my clothes hung up, I can do pull-ups on the wooden pole. Just to be sure it's pretty sturdy, I pull on it a little. It seems stable. Let's rip some off. Crash! Snap! Whoomp! Otis, what was that? Mom hollers from downstairs. Nothing, Mom. I just knocked over a box by accident. A bunch of curse words stream through my brain. Then comes the obvious question. How am I going to fix this wooden pole without my mother finding out? At least it looks like a clean break. I'll just put the two pieces together and then put the pole back on the wall. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. First, I put the butt end of one pole on the wall, and then the butt end of the other pole on the wall, and bring the two pieces of wood together. Yes! It worked! I can't believe that actually worked. What are you doing? Inquires Bad Sister. Nothing. What did you see? I fire back quickly to cover any guilt in my voice. Nothing. What did I miss? I heard a loud crash a minute ago while I was reading, and I wanted to see what was going on. Did you break something? Frowny face. Not a good sign. Hands on hips? She knows! No, it was just a box of junk I accidentally knocked off my bed. Hey, can you help me hang up some of my clothes? What a great idea this is. If it holds, that's great. But now if it breaks, I can blame it on her. Genius, I tell you. I guess, she replies. I hand Bad Sister a bunch of clothes that are already on hangers. Whomp! What the heck? Did you just break the wooden pole? I accuse Bad Sister. Mom! Bad Sister just broke my closet, I holler. I hear my mother stirring downstairs. What? I'm coming up there. Really, Otis? Bad Sister stares at me with her hands on her hips. Yes, really, you broke the wooden closet pole thingy. You must have slammed those clothes hangers on it too hard. First of all, it's called a closet rod. Secondly, you broke it, Bad Sister replies. I did no such thing. It must have been broken before we even moved in. Footsteps approach. Mom steps into my room. What happened, Otis? Mom's tone seems to accuse me of wrongdoing before I can even explain. I open my mouth to answer, but Bad Sister jumps right in with, I came in here because I heard a loud noise. When I walked in the room, Otis was putting the two pieces of the broken closet rod back together in his closet. You saw that? I ask. Mom gasps. Otis, we just moved in and you're already breaking things. You know what? You aren't going to play with Leo after dinner today. Fix the closet pole and clean up your room. Come on, Ella, let's go. But Mom, I whimper, but nothing. Now get out some of your duct tape and fix that pole. If I come back up here and you're making a wallet instead of fixing that pole, you'll be grounded for a week. Do you want me to make you a duct tape wallet? I ask. No, Mom exclaims. Bad Sister inquires, what were you trying to do anyways? I guess I might as well explain myself now. I'm trying to get in shape by doing some pull-ups. If I set a new record in gym, my name will go up on the Boykinville Board of Beasts for all to see. I can see it now. Otis Kelschwanke is great. If you don't clean up this room, I can see it now. Otis Kelschwanke is grounded, Mom replies. She and Bad Sister storm out the door. Well, this sucks. Now I really do have to unpack because I don't know which box my duct tape is in. First, let's see if Leo is outside. I walk to the window of my prison cell and spot Leo playing soccer by himself in his front yard. I'm in lockup in cell block 4. Hey, Leo! I shout. Leo stops and waves. Hey, Otis, what's up? I can't come over today. I have to unpack. Can you do me a favor? I ask. Sure. What do you need? He hollers. Can you do some research on how we can get super strong and fast in 8 weeks? I'm a step ahead of you. I already did. I'll tell you what I found tomorrow. Leo waves and then starts juggling his soccer ball. I look back at my cell, a room full of boxes that I have to unpack. I wish I could summon, some magical elves to do this work for me. Clean this up, elves, and go get me some cookies while you're at it. Chapter 11, R&D. After a few days of floundering with different exercise routines and fad diets, it's time to call upon a meeting of the minds. Who knew trying to drink a raw egg is so gross? I'm getting nowhere fast in my quest to get my name on the Board of Beasts and break the OK curse. I decide a meeting is an excellent idea. So on Thursday evening, Leo and I joined forces with Bad Sister and Stu in a round-table discussion. It was easy to convince Bad Sister to attend the meeting, but I think she agreed just so she can sit by Leo. Stu, on the other hand, is here because he's always looking for something to eat in the kitchen. The mission of the meeting is to create a comprehensive plan for setting records. Dad wants in on the meeting, but I tell him that it won't be necessary. He says he could be my coach for running the mile, but I don't want to do one of his brutal running workouts. Plus, he'd probably make me wear those too short running shorts. I want to make our meeting serious, like a business meeting with a bunch of super important corporate executives, so I try to set the tone right from the beginning. First, I got Mom to bake cookies because every legitimate business meeting needs some serious treats. Next, I gave everyone fancy glasses and put a carafe of milk in the middle of the table. Yes, I said carafe, which is a cool term for a pitcher. Finally, to make sure all parties knew how important this was, I wore my black slacks, a white shirt, and my only tie. Granted, the tie is a clip-on that's way too short because I think I wore it at some relative's wedding when I was 5, but it still looked pretty sweet. I hereby call this meeting to order. Dude, let's get this started already. Wrestling is on in 10 minutes, Stu blurts. I glare at Stu. All right, I declare this meeting has begun. It's R&D time. That means research and development. I totally want to slam my fist on the table since that's what important people do in meetings. Hooray for R&D, Stu shouts, but his statement is loaded with sarcasm. Then he pounds his fist on the table. Hey, I wanted to do that, I say. Then I pound my fist on the table harder than Stu. Don't break anything, Mom hollers from the living room. It was okay, Stu shouts. Sorry about that. All right, now you all know why we are here. Leo and I want our names up on the fabled, the legendary, the Boykinville Board of Beasts. Yeah, man, we need some respect in that school building, Leo says. Bad sister jumps in. Are you getting picked on too, Leo? Well, yeah. My style is way too fresh for the kids to even comprehend. Plus, my mom is a teacher there, Leo says. Is that the Amazons? What are they saying? I ask. Leo says, yeah, it's the tall girls. They're saying the regular things, about my hair and stuff. Seriously considering cutting it. Bad sister says, don't cut your hair, Leo. You look like a young Michael Jackson. Before he had all those surgeries on his face and died and stuff. Thanks, that's comforting, Leo chuckles. Stu says, give me some names, Leo. I'll pummel them all. I'll poison their water supply to make their hair fall out, adds Bad Sister as she waves her fist in the air. People, we're not here to stoop to the level of the lowly peons in our school. There's no honor in fighting. We're here to figure out a way to rise above, to overcome, to become, I pause and stand up for added drama, legends. Sit down, Pukey McPukester, Stewie says, killing my moment. Leo, please share what you found. Leo nods. First, I found some stuff that I think will help and some things that we definitely shouldn't do. To get better at pull-ups and sit-ups seems pretty simple. We need to do as many of those as we can every day and just keep building up our strength. For the shuttle run and the mile, well, we need to run every day to work on that. But we have to add in sprints because the shuttle run is about quickness. It's kind of a short race. What exactly is the stuff we shouldn't do? Stu asks. Well, Otis wanted to know how we could get super strong and fast really quickly, and all the internet said was we should do steroids, Leo says. It should go without saying that steroid use is out of the question, Bad Sister shouts. Yeah, it's illegal. You do get strong and fast and stuff, but it changes your body in other ways, Leo says. Oh yeah, Stu says. The varsity football coach says it shrinks your He looks at Bad Sister. It shrinks your tendons. Your tendons can shrink. Yeah, sure, I say. Stu laughs. Leo and I can't help but chuckle too. Why are you guys laughing? Did I miss something? Asks Bad Sister. I say, not at all. Alrighty then, let's move on. How about we focus on the exercise routine? Stu, what have you learned from the first few days at football practice? Check this out. You have to play to your strengths. I wanted to play wide receiver for the team because I'm fast, There was a big problem, though. I couldn't catch the ball in traffic. They made you play catch in the streets with cars and trucks driving by? Bad Sister asks. No, that means I drop the ball when there are people near me or hitting me as the pass comes in. So anyways, since I'm fast, plus I'm way nastier than these other wimps on the team, they switched me to linebacker. Now I only play on defense because that's my strength. You two need to find two or just one event that you're already decent at and then train for that event. Whoa, even Stu has some good stuff. This meeting is going much better than planned. I pass around the cookie tray and offer some milk from the carafe. Well, I guess I should add what I've learned. Basically, I flipped through the channels the last couple of nights looking for infomercials and how to get in great shape. I'll be honest, I didn't find out much. Besides, we'd have to spend money we don't have. What did you see? Asks Leo. I don't know. There was this one where you just exercise in place really hard called profanity or something. Then there was this one with chubby ladies working on their butts. I think it was called Bolivian butt lift. That's not what they're called, Stu blurts. I know, I chuckle. Bad Sister, you're smart and all. What do you think? I thought you'd never ask, Otis. If I were you two, I'd run every day. Mix in some sprints, do some pull-ups and core work, maybe try Pilates to help you get really strong for sit-ups. Mom has some of those videos. Pilates, Stu says. Paloopies? I ask. Poopies? Leo questions. We all laugh. You guys know what it is, Bad Sister says as she shakes her head at us. You do all this stuff that makes your stomach super strong. Anyway, I would run from here to the park. That is about a half-mile away. Then do some pull-ups on the monkey bars or go across the monkey bars a bunch of times. Then do like sprints in the field or go up and down the playground as fast as you can. Then when you're done, jog back and do some sit-ups or Pilates. Simple. Wow, that sounds great, I say. What are the records, by the way? Asks Stu. 26 pull-ups, 52 sit-ups in 1 minute. The shuttle run is 7.1 seconds and the mile is 5:38. Leo rattles off. I'd go after the mile if I were you, Otis, Bad Sister suggests. Yeah, go for it, Pukey McPukester, Stu shouts. I shrug my shoulders. Sure, either that or maybe sit-ups. I know Horace is going after the shuttle run record. I wonder if he's caught any of his goats yet, Leo says. I laugh and then ask, how about you, Leo? What are you going for? Pull-ups and sit-ups. I can do 16 pull-ups already. I can do at least one, but then my closet rod broke, I report. Stu gets up from the table. All right, little dweebs, I'm out of here. Wrestling is about to start. Hey, are you going to come to my game tomorrow? Sure, are you going to start, I ask. No, because I didn't join the team until late. The coach said since I'm such a beast, he'll put me in after a few plays. Such modesty, Bad Sister says. Stu walks away from the table and Bad Sister leans towards me. She whispers, to the mile, Otis. You can break the record and the curse. You're talented at that, and with hard work, you'll get your name on that board for everyone to see. Chapter 12, Stu's a Beast. Who knew football games were such social events? Kids are everywhere. I'll take in some of the sights and sounds, but Leo and I came out to cheer on Stu. It's just like my father says. If you can't be an athlete, you should at least be an athletic supporter. By the way, I know that an athletic supporter is another name for jockstrap, and I know that joke is totally lame. Tell that to my father. He just laughs and laughs anytime he says it. Stu told us he wasn't going to start, so I don't rush to get up in the stands. Besides, there's some eye candy by the concession stand. Nori Suzuki is here with a couple of her friends. Check it out, Leo. There's Nori. I nudge him while pointing at Nori. Dude, relax, okay? I know you love her and all, but don't declare it to the world just yet, Leo says. He's right. I've got to stay cool. It's weird, though. Just a year ago, girls were about as interesting to me as variables in a math class. I hate variables. 4 plus x equals 9. Why don't you just come out and say 9 minus 4 instead of all this weird stuff? All right, back to Nori. She has straight jet black hair, olive skin, deep brown eyes, and a nice lips. Plus, it's cool that she's shorter than me. That seems to be a rarity at this stage in my life. I'm going to talk to her, I say to Leo. Leo chuckles. No, you're not. You're right, I'm not. But I will someday. Let's go in the stands. We walk by the group of girls, and I manage not to stare too much at Nori. My heart beats faster than it does when I'm doing wind sprints. Keep it together, okay? Keep it together. Wham! What's your problem? The Queen of the Amazons shouts. Oh, man, this isn't going to be good. Sorry, I'm really sorry. I try to recover. Here, I'll go and buy you another soda because I knocked yours over. The last thing I want from you, lunchbox boy, is your hands on a soda that I'm going to drink, the Queen retorts. Here's some money then, Leo offers. He holds out $2 towards the Queen. The Queen slaps his hand down. We don't want your money, puffy-headed mama's boy, she snaps. That's it. You can insult me, but not my friends. Don't call him that, I snap. You're just jealous because his hair is better than yours. I don't want those curls. He looks like a Q-tip, she smirks. Leo takes a step toward the Queen, but I put my arm out to keep him back. Q-tip. That one's not so bad, since that's the name of a famous rapper, but you wouldn't know about cool stuff like that, Miss Queen of the Amazons. I'm sorry for knocking into you and making you drop your soda, but that's no reason to be mean. Queen of the Amazons? What does that mean, O.K? Well, you're like really tall, I say. You're racist, one of her lackeys replies. No, he's not. You are, Leo retorts. Well, I meant like Greek warrior girls, all big and tough, I reply. All right, I'll just call you the tall, mean girls. Now move, or else, I demand. Or else what? The queen shoves me in the shoulder. Don't touch me, I say. Whatevs. I better go wash my hands now, she laughs. Thankfully, they get out of the way. I can hear them saying not so nice things behind my back, but Leo and I keep moving. It looks like we didn't miss any plays that Stu was in. Our team, the Boykinville Beasts, are still on offense. There he is. Stu's number 2. When I heard from him that he was number 2, I couldn't help but laugh. I told him, they gave you number 2 because you smell like you just took a number 2 on the toilet. Naturally, that joke wasn't well received, and Stu slugged me in the shoulder a little harder than normal. He responded, Number 2 is on my jersey, but I'll be number 1 in your heart. Stu stole that line from my father. Another one of Dad's gems. Dude, okay, you're my hero, Leo says. Why? I ask. Because you stuck up for me. No friend has ever done that for me before. No problem, man. Those girls are getting on my nerves. Leo pushes me. Stu's going in right now. Yeah, go Stu! I yell as loud as possible. Stu, 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 Stu! Leo and I chant. The Beasts have to punt right now to the opposition, the Russellton Ramblers. Stu lines up wide and gets ready to charge down the field at the return man. It's a clean snap. The punter boots the football, and Stu flies down the field, making a beeline towards the receiver. He shoves aside a would-be blocker. The receiver snatches the ball, makes one cut away from a defender, but that heads him right towards Stu, and wham! Stu levels the poor sap. Welcome to the House of Pain! Woo, yes! That's my brother right there! I point to Stu on the field as I look back at the crowd. You're the man, Stu! Adds Leo. Stu rises up and offers his hand to the player on the ground, but it doesn't look like the punt returner is going to be getting up very soon. A few other players from the Beast slap Stu on the helmet and shove him around. Stu calmly turns and runs back to the sideline. I hope that guy isn't hurt, I say. At least Stu's not pummeling me for a change. Leo nods. Stu's a beast. I'm going to call him Beast Stu from now on. I chuckle. That's a good one. I bet I'll like that. Thankfully, the punt returner gets up with the help of a few teammates and is able to walk off the field under his own power. I just hope Stu doesn't permanently damage anyone today. A few plays go by, and the Ramblers gain a bunch of yards. This must upset the coach because he's flailing his arms everywhere. The coach motions to the bench, and Stu replaces some other player on the field. Look, he's back in the game, I tell Leo. Yeah, buddy, Beast Stu, Beast Stu, Leo chants. I join in. Beast Stu, Beast Stu, Beast Stu. The Russellton Ramblers hike the ball. The quarterback fakes a handoff to the running back and bootlegs to the other side of the field. Stu doesn't buy the fake and angles toward the QB. As he rolls right, the QB sees number 2 charging right at him. The QB fakes a throw to try and get Stu to jump or slow down, but Stu doesn't. Instead, Stu grabs the QB by his throwing arm and then whips him to the ground. I must admit, it looks like Stu has found his natural element. All those years of chasing me down in the backyard while we played football must have paid off. He looks like a cheetah deftly hunting down his prey. No one can stop him on his quest for blood. It's time to taste the turf. Please don't break my everything. As the game rolls on, Stu continues to beat on various ball carriers. If someone comes up to block him, Stu either blasts the enemy backward or simply slips by without breaking a stride. It's not like Stu is much bigger than the opposing players, but he just plays so much faster. I know it's not right to be jealous of someone else's success, but I am. Stu's a great athlete, and now everyone at our new school will know it. I wish it were me. Well, I guess I am happy for him, though, and I'll make sure to tell him. That's what a good brother should do. My voice goes hoarse after hollering for so long. Unfortunately for Stu, the Boykinville Beasts are not very beastly on offense. They actually lose the game when their quarterback throws an interception and the Ramblers run it back for a touchdown. The final score ends up being Ramblers 7 and Beasts 0. Stu did everything he possibly could on defense except recover a fumble or get a pick. Too bad he can't catch the ball. He could use him on offense. Leo says, "He didn't tell me that Stu was a dominant force at football." Yeah, well, he's pretty much a force to be reckoned with no matter what sport he plays, I concede. I honestly didn't know about football, though, because my parents didn't let him play until now. They won't let me play until high school either, but I'm probably not going to play then anyway. "Why not?" asked Leo. I shrugged my shoulders. "I don't want to get any concussions and stuff." Very true. That is a problem that plagues youth in high school football. Well, actually, that's not the real reason. It's just after a lifetime of getting knocked around by Stu, I've kind of lost my appetite for contact. It's different for Stu because he's the one beating on people instead of the one getting beat up. Then again, I don't like sweaty boys jumping on me either, Leo says. Sounds kind of gross, I say. That's what they're doing, you see. I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. Well, my heart is taken, Leo, and it's not by you. I love Nori, I declare. And wouldn't you know it, right at that moment, Nori, her friends, and the Amazons all walk right by. I love Nori. Isn't that just perfect, laughs the Queen. How does the song go again? O.K. and Nori, sitting in a tree. Kissing. Nori puts her head down and squirms through the crowd. I stand like a statue, not really knowing what to do. My face grows hot, but I don't dare turn around. The Queen's friends join in the singing. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes a baby in the baby carriage. How gross would that be? The Queen adds after the song is finished. Chapter 13. Weekend Warriors. By Sunday, Leo and I are on our third straight day of working out. To try and block out the memory of my comment about Nori, right in front of her and the Amazons no less, I had to stay busy. We got started on Friday right after the game. Leo and I worked out again on Saturday, and now once more this Sunday night. Just like Bad Sister suggested, we run to the park, do pull-ups on the monkey bars, make up some ridiculous obstacle courses using the playground, and then jog back home. The hardest part is the sit-ups at the end, but I can tell it's all paying off. Both Leo and I are totally going to be so buff. I swear my shirts are getting tighter because of my bulging biceps. It's too bad we have a dress code, or else we'd both wear sleeveless shirts to show off our massively ripped guns. The beach is that way. How many pull-ups do you think you'll be able to do today? I asked Leo as we jogged to the park. How can you talk while running? Gasps Leo. I don't know. The jogging part is easy, I reply. We arrive at the glorious playground and walk over to the monkey bars. What a great day outside. I'm not one to really pay attention to the weather, but this is a picture-perfect scene. It's about an hour before sunset. The sky glows with pink, blue, and purple as long shadows crawl across the deep green grass. Give me a second to catch my breath. All right, I'll go first, I say. The record for pull-ups is 26, and so far, the most I've been able to do is 8. I better improve soon because I have to more than triple my current number to even get close. I hop up a little bit to cling to the cool metal bar. 1, 2, 3. The first few are easy, but then my shoulders start to ache. 4, 5. My forearms start to scream, and I can feel my grip slipping. 6, 7. Come on, O.K., you can do it. My arms quiver as I slowly rise up. I crane my neck up, trying to get my chin over the bar. 8. Give me one more. Do it, O.K. Yeah, one more, I reply as I hang from the bar. I wiggle a little so my hands can get a better grip. Pull! My biceps shake and my body strains. Slowly, I rise higher. I give my body a shake and kick my legs a bit to get my chin over the bar one last time. 9! A new personal record, Leo says. I drop from the bar. I get my hand up and Leo gives me a turkey. My arms throb. The palms of my hands ache. I think I'm getting some calluses from gripping these monkey bars each day. Your turn, I say. Leo hops up and grabs the bar with ease. He rips off 15 straight without even slowing. By 17, his pace slackens. Keep going, Leo. Go for 20, I shout. Leo struggles, but rises up to get 18, then 19. One more, big man. Do it, Leo. You're the man. I'm the man, he grunts. With one quick kick, Leo pulls his slender frame up and gets his chin over the bar one more time. Great work. You got a shot at the record in pull-ups for sure, I declare. Yeah, my arms are really sore, but I fought through the pain. No pain, no gain, we both declare. Do you have a stopwatch? Leo asks. Yeah, man. Let's do some shuttle runs and see how we compare to the Board of Beasts' best time. My father has turned out to be a strong ally for my quest to break the curse. Today, Dad lent me his running watch. My dad is pretty modest. He always says my mom was great at sports and not him. Mom played basketball in high school and college, but Dad was an athlete in his day, too. He played a bunch of sports, and I guess he even ran the half mile for his college. Once, my mom played an old video of him running, but I wasn't really watching him run. I was just surprised that at one time he actually had hair. Check out the flowing mane and take note of the manly chest hair. To help Leo and me with our workouts, Dad even researched how wide the shuttle run is and painted 2 lines in the field with a can of spray paint so we could get an accurate measurement of how we stack up. Leo, you want to go first? I asked. Sure, I guess, but can you tell me how you do it again? I watched some videos on this last night, so I know exactly how it's done. I take a deep breath. Well, you start at one line, run to the other line, and touch the imaginary cone that stands on that line. Run back to the start line and knock over the imaginary cone right here. Run back to the other side to knock down another imaginary cone, and then sprint back to the start line, which I guess is also the finish. What are you talking about? Imaginary cones, start and finish? I'm like discombobulated. Just run back and forth between the lines twice, as fast as you can, I grumble. Why didn't you just say that in the first place? The second explanation was much clearer. I shrug my shoulders. Leo grins and sets himself at the starting line. I say, here we go. I've got the watch ready. On your mark, set, go! Leo darts across the field, plants his foot right by the line and sprints back. He slips a little on his way back, but recovers quickly. After going back and forth twice, I click the stopwatch. 9.2 seconds, I declare. What's the record? Leo pants. It's 7.1 seconds. My turn. Here's the watch. I hand the stopwatch over to Leo. He resets the timer and says, on your mark, set, go! Like a lightning bolt, I flash across the field. My foot plants hard in the grass in the first line, and I turn back towards the start line. My arms and legs churn as I race against time. Back at the start, I turn for the second half of this mad dash. Gritting my teeth, I get to the other line and turn around for the final stretch. My body's leaning too much, and I barrel roll across the finish line. Whomp! Leo clicks the stopwatch. 8.9. 0.3 of a second faster than me. Man, I don't know if I can do any better, I mutter. I have to get about 2 seconds faster to get the record? That's ridiculous. You alright? Asked Leo. Yeah, I guess. I stand up and kick at some tall dandelions in the grass. It's just that I don't think I can get this record or the pull-up record. Realistically, I don't think I can improve that much in only 7 weeks. Well, keep your head up. We'll keep working. There's also sit-ups in the mile, Leo says. I guess, I reply. Race you back home? Give me a head start. You'll crush me if I don't get at least a 30-second jump on you. 30, 29, 28, I mumble. Leo bolts out of the park and heads for home. Chapter 14, Military Man. Working out makes you sore. Every time I move quicker than normal, my muscles cry for mercy. I wonder if this is how old people feel all the time. If they do, that sucks. For once in my life, I'm actually content sitting in my chair at school. Mrs. Neely even notices this and asks, Otis, did someone take the ants out of your pants today? I just smile and nod. I have learned that it's best to not respond unless you have to with Mrs. Neely, or else you run the risk of getting totally embarrassed. Like I'm going to say anything about stuff in my pants in front of a bunch of 7th graders. Yikes! Speaking of embarrassment, I see Nori in art class today. I have a speech prepared for her. I need to explain what I meant when I said I loved her, and she heard it, but Mrs. Foster doesn't like when you move seats, and Nori's on the other side of the room. Does she think I'm going to ask her out or something? Because I'm not. This is what I had planned. I would say, Hey Nori, I'm sorry for saying I love you at the football game. I don't know you enough to really love you. I just think you're very attractive. You know what? That sounds awful now that I think about it. Maybe I'll say, What's up, Nori? I didn't mean to say I love you. I just meant to say I love your hot bod. That's even worse. I think I'll just avoid talking to her. Girls don't pay much attention to me unless I annoy them somehow, so hopefully all will be forgotten soon. But what if she did like me? What would happen then? Would we ride away on a mystical unicorn into the sunset? All these useless thoughts running through my head. I should be focusing on the Boykinville Board of Beasts. I wonder if Leo has any experience with girls. He seems to be a smooth operator. Much smoother than I am, anyway. Hey, Leo, have you ever had a girlfriend? I ask. Keep it down. My mom will move us apart if we talk too much, remember? Leo reminds me. Oh, yeah. Just wondering, I say, trying to keep my voice down. Leo whispers, kind of, I guess. In 5th grade. All we did was hold hands sometimes, and she made me talk to her virtually every night. I had to break up with her because I was taking up too much of my time. Thanks for the tip, I mutter in return. There's no doubt now. I gotta push Nori out of my mind. Besides, everyone knows what I said at the football game. The Amazons are already teasing me about what I said at the game, like they need any more ammunition for making fun of me. Lunchbox boy loves Nori. Stupid Amazons. Stu says they're saying mean things about me on the internet now. My mom doesn't let me go on any of those social sites, so I'm not so sure what they're even saying. Matter of fact, all I get to do on the internet is go to ESPN.com to play fantasy football. That might be because one time I was on a website where my dad likes to play Texas Hold'em, and I lost all his virtual money in about 3 minutes. I don't know if I've ever saw him any madder than that. He was so upset he couldn't even form a complete sentence. He muttered between his clenched teeth, "Get away now!" The pulsing veins at his neck and forehead were a telltale sign of rage. Get away now! On Friday, Leo and I fit in a quick workout. Then we head back to his house. I never knew how to ask this question without making Leo feel bad, but I finally work up the courage to find out where his dad is. Leo, your mom is Mrs. Neely. Is she, still married? Where's your dad? Leo chuckles. Oh, my dad's in the military. He's stationed overseas right now. We hope he'll be back around Christmas. Oh, so you do have a dad. Do you get to talk to him? I ask. Yeah, but only once a week on a video chat. At least that way I get to see his face. He's super excited about how we're trying to break school records. It's cool that you can still talk to him on the computer and stuff, I say. Hi, son. Ding dong, the doorbell rings, interrupting us. Stu shouts from the front door. Okay, Leo, you guys in there? We both walk over to the door. Stu is all suited up for his football game tonight, but his uniform looks a little different. What's up? Asks Leo. I need my little brother to come back home, Stu says. I quickly say goodbye to Leo and walk across the street with Stu. Check the jersey, man. I'm playing varsity tonight. What? I snort. We walk in the door and the whole family is standing in the living room. Stu says, Mom, I got OK. So now can you come to my game tonight? I'm playing on varsity. Some kid got hurt, so Coach Glowster moved me up. Might be only for one game, though, and I have to play safety instead of linebacker. This is crazy. He's only a freshman. He's going to play on varsity? Honey, Mom says, you're on varsity now? That's amazing. There's one problem, though. Ella has her piano recital tonight, too. The game's not until 7. Friday Night Lights, baby. Bad sister plays at, 5, doesn't she? Stu asks. Yeah, Mom. You and Dad can go to both. Bad sister sings as she bounces up and down. It's like a big celebration. These are 2 events that I'd rather not attend. How can I wiggle out of sitting with my mom and dad for these? What about the puppy? I say. Whenever we leave him alone, he eats drywall or poops on top of a table. Oh, Otis, he'll be fine, Dad says. I'll watch him, I suggest. Mom smiles and says, Oh, Otis, are you sure? I nod yes. Thank you so much, sweetie, she beams. It didn't take long for Stu to be great, and I'm sure Bad Sister will be phenomenal. I hear her masterful piano skills every day. The only thing I can do well is catch the dog when he gets loose. Chapter 15, Superstar Siblings. Even though I volunteered to watch Sausage Link so Mom and Dad could revel in Stu's and Bad Sister's greatness, I didn't do it to be helpful. The last thing I wanted to see was Stu make his glorious appearance on the varsity football team as a freshman, or Bad Sister play some beautiful song like Clara de Lune. They'll both do just fine without me. Bad Sister, uncharacteristically, is all excited to play her songs, and even says she will dedicate her performance to Stu. I hope Mom and Dad take her with them when they go to the football game after she's done. Hey, Sausage Link, want to go pee on the piano? I ask our new pet. He doesn't even give me a look. Apparently chewing on a rawhide bone thingy is more important to him. Then again, we just named him, so he probably doesn't even know his name is Sausage Link. Do dogs really know what people are saying anyway? Or do they just listen to the tone of a person's voice? I could probably say whatever I want to this mutt, as long as it sounded like something nice. Let's give it a try. Hi, you ugly, ugly, silly little poochy poopity poo-poo head, I say in a playful, high-pitched voice. Looks like it works. Little Sausage Link is wagging his curly, pig-like tail. Aw, just look at the poopity poo-poo head. You're a little half-pig mutant mutt, aren't you, Sausage Linky Linkerdoo? I continue with my baby talk for dogs. Sausage Link walks right up to me with his whole backside wiggling back and forth. I guess I have to pet him now. Silly dog. Well, he's not so silly. He likes me, I guess. And that's got to count for something. Give it to me straight. You don't care if I'm just okay, right, Sausage Link? The dog wiggles his whole backside as I talk to him. The night goes by rather quickly. I take the dog on a walk at dusk and make sure to hold on to the leash real tight at all times. There's something about this dog that I just don't quite trust. He leaves slack in the leash, but a couple of times he makes a run for it and almost yanks the leash out of my hand. I won't let him get away, though. When we get back, Sausage Link finds a tennis ball in the garage. I'm not too keen on playing fetch with him in the yard since he'll bolt for the hills, so I take the mutt downstairs with the ball. Drop, I say to Sausage Link. He just stares at me with the ball in his mouth. I reach down and grab the tennis ball, which is already slippery with slobber. Sausage Link doesn't let go. Drop, I say again as I pull on the ball. Sausage Link doesn't let go, so I point to the floor and try again. Drop, I shout, and wouldn't you know, the puppy lets go of the ball. This little guy might be smart after all. For the next hour, I play a made-up kind of game with Sausage Link. I throw the ball against the wall, and if Sausage Link can get the ball before it ricochets twice, he gets a point. If it bounces off a wall 3 times, I get a point. If the ball hits this wall twice, I win. For the first 20 minutes or so, I'm winning by a lot. Then, little by little, Sausage Link starts to figure out about where the ball is going to carry him off the wall and starts catching up. After a while, we both get tired, and I lose track of the score. I take him out to pee, come back inside, and then we watch TV together. What do you want to watch, Sauce? I ask. Maybe some animal show? Perhaps there's a special on wild boars. What do you think? I flip through the channels and find some shows about dingoes in Australia. Sausage Link hops up on the couch and sets his head on my lap. I'm tuckered out too, Sausage Link, I tell him. You're not so bad, are ya? Okay, wake up, man, Stu says as he shakes my arm. I must have fallen asleep watching TV with Sausage Link. What time is it? I ask. I look towards Stu and the whole family is behind him. They're all smiling. I don't know. Guess what? I intercepted a pass today and we won the game, Stu gloats. And Ella's piano recital was flawless, Mom adds. Bad Sister jumps in. It wasn't flawless. Dad says, my friend, Mr. Simmons, said it was, and he's in the City Symphony Orchestra. That's great. I respond groggily. I'm sorry I couldn't be there, I say, even though I wish it were me that my parents were gushing over. I move a bit, and Sausage Link jumps off the couch. He jumps up and licks Bad Sister. Stu tries to calm him down, but he just turns and starts to lick Stu. Sausage Link, you traitor. Chapter 16, Mom Has a Hatchet. Right now, I'm sitting on a chair outside on the front porch while my mom is across the street talking to Mrs. Neely. I'm not chilling out here on the porch by choice either. I'm about to get hit with a hatchet. In my old school last year, I read Hatchet. It's this book where some kid was stranded in the forest after a plane crash. It was a little plane with just the kid and the pilot. The pilot had a heart attack and died as the plane was flying. Well, this kid didn't know what to do as far as driving the plane, but he got lucky and crashed into a lake. With his trusty hatchet, he was able to survive in the wilderness. Pretty great summary, right? Oh, I forgot to include this tidbit. The kid with the hatchet puked a lot. Anyway, we read the book and talked about it a bunch last year. So when Mrs. Neely said we were going to read it as a class this year, I was thrilled. Of course, I didn't tell her that I'd already read it. I just kept quiet and decided not to read it at all because I already know everything that happens. No reading homework for me for a while. I'd be on easy street. We started the book the first week of school, and every now and then, Mrs. Neely gave us a pop quiz to see if we were keeping up with our reading. I never did too well on any of the quizzes because I read it a whole year ago, but I was still getting a passing grade on all of them. Normally, I get pretty good grades in reading, but now I have a C average. In my new school, unlike the previous one, they have online grading, so at any time, my parents can instantly check on my current grades. Last night, my mother asked me about my reading scores. Otis, why do you have a C in reading? That's usually your best subject, Mom asked. I don't know, I brushed her off. I'll work on it. Wait a minute. He read Hatchet last year. Ooh, he's gonna get it. Well, it says you scored a 72% and a 76% on 2 quizzes so far. And they were about a book called Hatchet, she persisted. When she dropped the name of the book on me, I knew my future was looking bleak. Yeah, I'm having trouble analyzing the text. That sounded pretty smart, I thought. Check out my rather intelligent-sounding excuses. I'm having trouble analyzing the text. There are some conflicts with the plot and the setting. I looked at the protagonist and the rising action. The dog peed on my book. But you read that last year. Didn't you tell Mrs. Neely you read the whole book at your old school? Mom asked with her hands on her hips. Well, Mom interrupted. That's a no. I backpedaled. Mom, I'm reading it again, though. Otis, I advise you to remain silent, for anything you say will definitely be used against you. I'm going to talk to Mrs. Neely in person tomorrow after school. It's so nice to have your teacher living right across the street, isn't it? Mom says. You know what's worse than getting punished? Living in fear of the punishment that is about to get handed down. All night I tossed and turned thinking about what might happen to me. Would they ground me? Maybe they were planning on exile. Perhaps being jailed in a medieval dungeon. What's up? Not much, just hanging out. In the morning at school, I confessed to Leo. Why didn't you just tell my mom you already read it? Leo asked. I don't know. The path of least resistance, I guess. I said, Otis, we're not going to get to work out together anymore. The situation is fraught with peril. What? You fought with Harold? I asked. Fraught with peril? It's like really bad. He frowned. I'm sorry, Leo. I suck, I said, looking at the ground. For the rest of the day, I felt sick to my stomach. I didn't know if it was because I let Leo down or just because I was mad at myself. I thought about asking Leo to run with me to the park right after we stepped off the bus, but I knew that would be pushing my luck. Instead, I waited inside until my mom saw Mrs. Neely's car roll up into her driveway. Mom immediately marched across the street and told me to wait outside on the porch. So, here I am, glaring at my mom and Mrs. Neely. Their conversation is very brief. Mom turns and stomps back across the street. I refrain from slouching and sit up straight as my mom walks onto the porch. She's carrying a copy of the book. This isn't going to be good. Do you have your book with you? She asks. No, it's at school. I say, we both figured that much. Here's a copy. Go into your room and read the whole thing again tonight. I expect a detailed 2-page report on how your life is the exact opposite of what Brian went through. You will hand in this typed report to Mrs. Neely tomorrow morning. Who's Brian? I ask. Otis! I don't know why I'm surprised you don't know this, but Brian is the main character in the book you're supposed to be reading. Now go to your room and get to work. I shuffle inside. Oh, and no changing the margins on the page or enlarging the font size either. I ask, can I double space it? No! Chapter 17, Missing the Bus. The next morning, Sausage Link, that mangy beast, busts right out our screen door. I'd like to unleash a profanity-laced tirade, but Bad Sister is still in the house. To top it off, I have a headache. Because of the long book I had to read and report on, I didn't get to sleep until 1 in the morning. Dad leaves for work at the factory wicked early, so he's gone. Mom just pulled out of the driveway a few minutes ago to teach kindergarten. We kids have to report to our respective bus stops in 5 minutes, and no one wants to help me get the idiot dog. You're a saucy one, Sausage Link. It was your fault, stupid, Stu says, pointing at the door. You left the big door open. Whatever, stupid. How was I supposed to know he would jump through the screen on the door? I shove Stu in frustration. Stu cocks his arm back. I flinch. 2 for flinching, Stu says, as he lights me up with a quick 1-2 punch combination on my left shoulder. Ah, you jerk, I say. 1, 2, combo! Bad Sister scoots down the stairs. She tries to play the role of peacekeeper, but I think she really just likes to see the fireworks. Knock it off, boys. Now what happened? Sausage Link just barreled through the screen door. I opened the big door just to look outside to see if Leo was at the bus stop. I rub my sore shoulder as I replay the incident. So go get him, Bad Sister demands. But the bus is coming soon. Besides, when I ran after him the first time, he ran further away. Then, when I came back to the house, Sausage Link came closer. See? I point to the dog as he rolls around in the grass. He's in the yard right now. Well, I'm going to the bus stop, Stu says. I try to reason with Stu. You're the oldest. You need help. No way, O.K. If I'm late to school, Coach Glowster will be mad. He'll probably kick me off varsity even though I dominate, Stu says. What a jerk with his I'm so great at football attitude. I knew I couldn't count on him. No, he'll kick you off because you suck, I say through gritted teeth. Bad Sister says, Otis, you and I both know Stu's good. Yeah, I am good. You're just good at letting the dog get away, boy blunder. Whatever, turd 1 and turd 2, I don't need your help anyways, I mutter with disgust. Now comes the hard part. How will I catch Sausage Link? He thinks this is all fun and games, but I gotta get to school. Wait, I can lure him back with some dog treats. Quicker than a honey badger can dodge the strike of a cobra, I dart into the kitchen. There they are, delectable doggy drumsticks. New barbecue chicken flavor. What a ridiculous name for dog food. The people who thought of that must really like alliteration. Why didn't they just call it "This doggy does devour our dumb drumstick"? Hilarious. Oh, to stop daydreaming. Let's get out there and catch the dog. With a bag of dog treats in my hand, I rush outside into the front yard. Surprisingly, Bad Sister Stu and Leo are trying to get Sausage Link to come to them. Here, Saucy, Saucy Doo, Bad Sister says with her hands outstretched towards our pup. It's not working. The dog is just doing that jumping back and forth thing with its rear end in the air like this is supposed to be fun. Then he sprints to the backyard. I'm going to the bus, I can hear it coming, Stu announces. I'd better get to the stop too, Bad Sister adds. Mine comes 2 minutes after yours. Even though my siblings have abandoned me, Leo tries to help. Hey, okay, I can help catch your dog. Leo, you're awesome, but no, I'll catch Sausage Link. I've got dog treats, so it won't take me long, I say. Well, at least let me take your bag. Are you going to walk to school? I'll just run or something, and hopefully I won't be late. We have around 10 minutes after the bus drops us off before school starts. Just tell your mom why I'm late. She probably will believe it from you instead of from me, if I ever get there. I'll use your bag as evidence. Is your homework done, though? Leo asks. Yeah, 2 pages, single space. You better go before you miss the bus, too, I say as the bus comes down the hill towards our stop. Leo runs off with my bag in his hand. He shouts, Good luck, run fast! Catch that dog quick! I run around the back of the house with the dog treats in my hands. Sausage Link is in the backyard sniffing one of his old turds. Sausage Link, I scold. Stop that! I got something much better than one of your old butt biscuits. This smells familiar. He doesn't even look at me. Oh yeah, I need to change my tone. Here, silly poochity poo, I've got some doggy yum-yums for you. I shake the bag and Sausage Link looks right at the treats. He slowly walks toward me with eager eyes. Oh, so you like these delectable doggy drumsticks, don't you, saucy Sausage Linker-do? Slowly, I open the bag and pour some into my palm. As a few fall out, Sausage Link jumps right at me and knocks the bag out of my hand. Doggy drumsticks scatter into the yard. Sausage Link buries his nose into the grass, sniffing out treats. I grab his collar as he desperately tries to get as many treats in his mouth as he can. You can have some more later, I mutter. I drag Sausage Link to the front door and force him inside. Before I step outside, I make sure to close the big front door first, and then our busted screen door. Down the street, I can hear the bus rumbling away from our stop. I missed the bus. Chapter 18, Race to School. Catching the dog didn't take long. I could chase after the bus and hope to catch it at a different stop, but it traverses some pretty nasty hills, and I doubt the man who drives our bus would slow down for me. Considering the local topography, I have a better chance of getting to school on time if I cut through the woods. I'll run down to the end of Dusty Court and cut through Elliot Heinzelman's yard into the woods. Making my way through the brambles and onto the railroad tracks will be tricky, but I could take that route to Boykinville Road and then run down the road to school. It has to be at least 2 miles to school from where I stand, so I know I'll have to pace myself. I can't just tear off down the road like a madman. My feet glide across the pavement as I head toward the end of Dusty Court. Without breaking stride, I run up the driveway of Elliot's house, follow the sidewalk into his backyard, and shoot straight through the lawn and into the woods. After I get past the first few feet of sparse brush, the woods get really thick. I have to stop running for a moment and push my way through some thick undergrowth. Up ahead, I spot a very overgrown trail leading downhill. This is the path to the railroad tracks. I force my way through some bushes that are a few feet shorter than I am, and start running again on the old trail. Branches dangle in the way, so I have to run with my forearms in front of my face. The woods clear for a moment, and I see a steep hill right ahead of me. I turn my feet sideways, put one hand down on the side of the hill, and scamper down the gravel-covered path. Loose rocks and dirt roll down the hillside with me as I make my descent. Start. O.K.'s house. Leo's house. Black arrow, bus route. White arrow, O.K.'s route. Railroad tracks, dirt trail, and water. Finish at Boykinville School. I leap over a narrow ditch that's at the end of the hill and make a small climb up onto the railroad tracks. With a shorter stride and quick feet, I am able to run on the wooden railroad ties. After I rumble along for a minute or two, I look to both sides of the tracks for a quicker path. But there is a swampy pond on my left and a stream on my right. If a train comes barreling down the track, it looks like I will end up getting wet. For a moment, I notice how winded I am, and I'm only about halfway there. I gasp for breath with every step. Beads of sweat cover my forehead. Toughen up, Buttercup, I tell myself. I can't be late. Can't be late. No one's going to save you now, okay? It's hard to look too far ahead while I run on the railroad ties, but I can see that I'm getting much closer to the road. Would it be faster if I ran on the rails? No, I'd probably fall off right away and roll down the hill into the water. Once, Stu walked on the rails past 65 ties without looking down. I spent the day after that down on the tracks for hours, trying to beat his record, and I made it to 72. Stu then went back down there and, in one try, walked 74 tracks in a row. I wished a train had come and hit Stu when he was walking on the rails. Bam! Focus, okay. I made it to Boykinville Road. No time for a break now, though. I lengthened my stride and sailed down the sidewalk. But where's the bus? Did it already get to school? Sweat slides down the sides of my face. I use my hands to wipe it off and then shake my hands to try and get rid of the moisture. Man, I'm glad I put on deodorant today. It better work well under pressure like the commercials say. My body is really starting to revolt against this relentless pace. Perspiration continues to pour off me, and my lungs burn as I breathe harder and harder with each step. The muscle fibers in my legs strain with each stride. The side of my abdomen feels like someone has stabbed me with a dagger. Must keep running. I hear a familiar rumbling noise as a bus roars by me. Was that mine? If there are buses still on the road, I might not be that late. Boykinville Road bends a little to the left and then straightens out. The home stretch. I can see my school up ahead. Only one bus remains out front, which must be the one that passed me a few minutes ago. I'm going to be late. No! I put my head down, drive my arms forward, and charge towards the school. I'm a machine. Must keep running. Wait a minute. School doors are still closed. I slow my pace to an easy jog as I watch students step out of the only bus in the parking lot. That's not my bus, is it? I slow to an easy walk and look closely. Those aren't kids from my subdivision. Where's my bus? Why are the doors closed? Using my shirt sleeve, I wipe as much sweat as I can off my face and forehead. I shuffle up to a kid from my math class who's looking at his smartphone. Hey, man, what time is it? I ask. 7:18. Why are you breathing so hard, bro? I missed my bus. I had to run here. I can't be late. You sure it's 7:18? No, 7:19 now. Don't worry, dude. Doors open in like 1 minute, he replies. Another bus rumbles into the parking lot. I see Leo's puffy head pop out of a window. Otis, you're here! His head disappears back into the bus faster than a whack-a-mole hides in its burrow. You're okay, right? Asked the kid. Well, Otis, but yeah, people call me O.K. What's your name? I ask. Oh yeah, you're new to the area this year. I'm Travis. You beat the bus here then? Yeah, I guess I did, I answer. Cool, O.K. See you in math, he says and walks off. Leo steps off the bus, followed by Stu. I run up to them. Don't worry, Stu. I caught Sausage Link right after you left. I used the doggy treats to get him to come close to me, and was able to grab his collar and take him in, I quickly report. Did you lock the big door? Stu asks. Yep, I nod. Did you puke on yourself yet? He laughs. No, I grumble. I didn't even think about it while I was running, and I'm not queasy at all. That's great. Stu slaps me on the back, hard, but in a congratulatory kind of way. You're the man, O.K. Leo's got your bag. Leo hands me my backpack. You beat the bus here. That's amazing. You're like an aerobic machine. I know, right? That's what I kept telling myself as I ran. I'm a machine. I can't be stopped or reasoned with, and I will not stop until I'm dead, I say. No, you didn't. Terminator said that, Leo scoffs. You saw that one too? What are you, like some kind of movie buff? Yeah, I love movies. Well, I did think that I was a machine as I ran. Hi. If I were the Terminator, I probably wouldn't be sweating like this, though, I reason. Maybe I'd sweat motor oil. It sounds kind of gross, Leo chuckles. The school doors open and we head inside. Instead of stopping at my locker, I walk past it and head toward Mrs. Neely's room. Aren't you going to your locker first? Asks Leo. No, I have to apologize to your mom for not reading the book first and give her a sorry card, I say. Leo nods. Cool stuff, okay? If I stop at my locker, I'll probably just lose the stuff and then be in way bigger trouble. Leo laughs. Are you really that disorganized? I'm the kid that walks around the house looking for my shoes when they're already on my feet, I say. Don't look down, but I think you forgot your shoes, Leo says. I look down. My shoes are on. Did you seriously just look down? Leo laughs. Hey, Otis, I think you got a shot at the mile record. Besides, you beating the bus is legendary on its own. I wave at Leo as I head into Mrs. Neely's room. I hand her the assignment and the card and quickly shoot back out into the hallway to get my books for class. I don't want to watch her open it. That would be awkward. Dear Mrs. Neely, I made an awful decision by not reading Hatchet this year. I should have told you I read it last year, or read it again, or both. I am very sorry. I hope you like the picture of flowers. Sincerely, Otis. P.S. My mom didn't tell me to do this. Chapter 19. Lice Babies. Travis, the guy that told me the time when I got to school, must be popular or something. I guess he told a few of his friends that I beat the bus to school, and in the hallways before lunch, at least 10 different kids asked me if I really ran to school. As Leo, Horace, and I walk toward the lunchroom, we tell one group about how we are in training to break records on the Board of Beasts. Well, Leo and I tell them about the Board of Beasts. Horace uses it as an opportunity to goof around. He bleats at every person that walks by in the hallway like a goat. Finally, we reach the lunchroom and sit down at our spacious table. Blah! Horace screams as we sit down. Relax, Horace. That sounds more like a scream than a goat, I say. I know. I'm training my goats to bleat like a human scream. Pretty cool, right? Horace says. No, Leo replies. Horace slumps down. You're right. It's not that cool. Leo laughs. I'm just kidding. That is pretty cool. Hey, look who's walking over here. It's Travis. He never talks to me ever since one of my goats ate his shoe. Blah! Horace bellows. Hi, Horace, Travis says. Hey, guys, so I hear that you're training for the Board of Beasts. Yeah, I'm chasing around my goats to get better at the shuttle run. I'm going to run so fast. No, you're not, Horace, Travis snaps. You're right, I'm not, Horace responds as he slumps in his chair. Is that why you raced the bus today, O.K? Asked Travis. Well, not really. I just missed the bus, and I didn't want to be late. We do work out every night, though. I guess the mile is my event. Leo's getting really good at pull-ups. Leo downplays my statement. Well, I'm decent at them. Mama's boy is good at pull-ups, the Queen asks. Where'd she come from? She puts her hand on Travis's shoulder. Let's go, Travis. You don't want to associate with the loser table at lunch. Blah! Horace bleats. We're not losers, I say quietly. Take a look around. Each table has 8 chairs and 8 kids. You're the only table that has only 3 people sitting in it. No one else likes you. Let's go, Travis. We're going to break records. I want to be somebody. Then you'll see that you're wrong. No one likes you, I say. Travis shoves me in the shoulder. Hey, relax, bro. You relax, I say, as I stand up and shove him back. Travis and the Queen back away from the table. The Queen laughs and turns her back on us, pulling Travis with her. What's wrong with you, OK? Asked Horace. I stare at Horace. What do you mean? I'm standing up for you guys, see? I'm literally standing up right now. Horace says, that's only going to make it worse. I know from experience. And bleeding like a goat is going to make things better. What about you, Leo? Whose side are you on? Do you think they're the losers, or is it us? Leo shrugs his shoulders and looks down at his lunch. For a minute or two, we sit and eat without talking to each other. Horace squirms in his chair, uncomfortable with the silence. He looks at Leo, who has his head down, and then looks at me. So, okay, you're a fast runner? Are you going to be faster than me at the shuttle run? Probably not. I'm only good at running if it's a longer distance, I say. Horace suggests, maybe next year we should build a huge hamster wheel for the science fair, and you could run on it to power the whole school. That's not a bad idea, I say, but that's a long way away. I'm focused on the board of beasts right now. Aside from my friends being total wimps at lunch, our plan is working out. Leo, Horace, and I all have our strong events now. My target will obviously be the mile, and Leo ripped off 22 pull-ups a few days back, so I bet that record is his. Who knows how Horace is doing? It's still 6 weeks away, so we can get even faster and stronger before the big day. I better watch out and not get too cocky, though. At dinner, I tell Stu I'm going to break the mile record. He just laughs while stuffing his face with spaghetti. Whatever, barf boy. I'm still number one. You're just lucky we weren't in Boykinville when I was in 7th grade, or that record would be way faster. He garbles through his mouth full of noodles. He's right, but it's oh so sweet that we didn't attend Boykinville before this year. For once, something is working out in my favor. The next day, I decide to run to school again, just to prove it really happened. Don't start until the bus pulls away, some random kid shouts out the bus window as I stand on the sidewalk. Leo snatches my bag and enters the big yellow school bus. He gives me the thumbs up as the bus pulls away. I start running the same route as yesterday. How did I do this the first time? My legs ache from the strain I put them through yesterday. I settle into a decent pace, wiggle through the woods, tiptoe on the train tracks, and cut loose once I'm on Boykinville Road. It makes sense that I can beat the bus. My running route is a little shorter, and I don't ever stop like the bus does to pick up kids. Sweating and sore, I beat the bus again, and I don't feel sick to my stomach either. Maybe that one time I puked during the race with Dad was a fluke. The next school week, some 9th grader named Quincy gives me an earful about how he could beat the bus too. If you cut through Heinzman's yard and go through the woods, it's totally easy to beat the bus, he says. It isn't easy. I'm like half dead by the time I reach school. Besides, you'll never make it through the woods without guns like these. Then I pull up my shirt sleeve and flex my bicep at him. Is there supposed to be a muscle on there? All I see is skin and bones, Quincy laughs. But for real, can you help me? 'Cause I don't know the way to run through the woods. Fine, I'll run with you, I sigh. Just so you don't get lost, though. Once we're on the tracks, you're on your own. I'll do it too, announces Stu. Stu doesn't enjoy running long distances. He probably decides to do it just because he's tired of me getting all the attention. Quincy, Stu, and I hand Leo all of our bags. He stumbles as he climbs into the bus with all the luggage. You all right, Leo? I ask. Don't worry about me. I've got the easy job, he says. The bus takes off, and the three of us start our run. I have a bad feeling that Quincy won't make it because he looks kind of soft. Stu says as we run, Hey, Quincy, if I poke you in the belly, do you chuckle like the Pillsbury Doughboy? You sure about this Pillsbury Doughboy? Dee! I lead Stu and Quincy through the woods and onto the railroad tracks. Quincy is huffing and puffing harder than a steam train. I'm out of here, Stu shouts and bolts down the tracks. I scamper up the tracks and follow close behind my brother. I shout to Quincy, Remember to turn right when you get to the road. Then I leave Quincy in the dust. I look back when we reach the road and ask Stu, Should we wait? Predictably, Stu responds with, "You can, I'm not." We both take off toward the school. As we run, Stu asks me, between breaths, to do him a favor. "Hey, OK, you think you could draw a picture of a beast? The Boykinville beast?" "Like a beastly monster?" I wheeze. "No, a logo? A school logo? Coach Clodster? He wants a beast logo on our football helmets," Stu explains. "Cool," I agree. "I'll have to work on that. Currently, the logo on their football helmets is just the letter B, which must stand for boring." When we get to the home stretch, Stu sprints and I can't hang with him, so I end up in second place. The curse is still alive. I finish right in the middle. Stu and I beat the bus by a minute, but Quincy hasn't made it to school yet. Leo hops off the bus when it arrives and gives us all our bags. Stu heads inside right when the first bell rings, but just to be polite, Leo and I wait outside until Quincy shuffles his way to the school. Leo checks the time when Quincy finally arrives and says, "We only have 2 minutes left until the 7:30 bell will ring for us to be in class." I hand Quincy his bag and give him a wry smile. "You don't have to say it. It's hard to beat the bus," Quincy concedes. Leo and I dart inside and head to our respective lockers. His is way further down than mine, so he keeps walking as I stop by my home away from home. I whip my bag inside my locker, snatch my first hour materials, and shut my locker door in a hurry. I turn around. Standing right in front of me is Nori. She does not look happy. "Hi," I say. This is the first word I've actually said directly to Nori in my life. She's even prettier up close. I'm sorry about ruining your science fair project. I didn't mean to set your fire on fire." That sounds weird. I didn't mean to pour a soda on the fire that was on fire because of the silly string. Nori is pretty even when she is angry. "I'm not mad about that," Nori says. I mumble, totally confused. "Why did you have to say you loved me?" she asks bluntly. I can hear some hurt in her voice. "Oh, that. Well, I was just talking to my friend about who we liked, and I said you. I didn't mean for anyone else to hear it," I explain. Tears start to well up in Nori's eyes. "What's going on? Look, I'm not really sorry I said it, but I'm sorry everyone heard it. I just think you're pretty, and you seem like you're nice." Nori whispers, "I just wanted to see if you were saying it as a joke. Girls are making fun of me again. I thought that it was over this year, but now it's just worse." "I wasn't making a joke, I swear." Nori turns to leave, but I step in front of her. "Wait, who's making fun of you?" "My old best friend Stephanie. We were friends until an incident." "The tall, mean girl?" I say to Nori. "The queen of the Amazons," I say to myself. "So you two are friends? What happened?" "She gave me lice. I told the teacher I got it from her, but Stephanie said I got it first, and she denied she ever had it. She's hated me ever since." Nori looks at the clock. "I've got to go to class." She scoots into the classroom across the hall. I stand there for a moment. What just happened? Ring! Oh no! Not the bell. I'm late for class. Better take this punishment like a man. I walk into Mrs. Neely's class and immediately pick up my detention slip. Looks like this is another day where I get to spend my lunch with Leo's mom. It's not that bad suffering in silence, but I'd rather hang with my boys and run around at recess. Leo looks at me as I walk to my seat. I want to tell him what happened, but I know Mrs. Neely will blast me if I make a peep. "Don't you dare say a word! Isn't the lunch detention enough, okay? How dare you question my powers!" When lunchtime rolls around, Mrs. Neely says I only have 5 minutes to buy some milk from the lunch line before I have to return for my detention. Queen Stephanie and the Amazons are in a huddle formation in the middle of the hallway, looking at a smartphone. That's against the rules. I'm not waiting for them to get out of my way. "Please move," I say. With those 2 words, it seems that all eyes are on me. Countless kids that were waiting to get around the Amazon group all stop as the Amazons turn towards me. The queen slides her phone into her pocket. "Rule breaker! See her phone?" "Move!" I repeat. "It's time for lunch." "We'll move when we want to, O.K." Trixie, a toady for the queen, snorts. My name is Otis. Now please disperse, for you are blocking the flow of traffic. The Queen shouldn't be so mean to people like Nori or me and get away with it. The Queen steps forward. Oh, Star Wars lunchbox boy needs to eat so fast? Don't you have a bus to chase, or are you racing to see Nori? I grit my teeth for a moment, but stop and take a deep breath. Leave Nori out of this. Ooh, are you defending the honor of Nori, the lice girl? The Queen replies. She puts her fingers in quotes as she says lice girl. So, what if Nori had lice before? Lots of kids do. It's no big deal, I say. Maybe you had lice first, but were ashamed to admit it, still came to school, gave it to everyone else, and then blame her. The Queen pauses. Did I put a chink in her facade? She sighs and flips her hair. Looks like it didn't. Whatevs, you no-life tryhard. Why don't you and Nori go have some babies, and then you can all share your lice together, O.K. My name is Otis. Why don't you both go and eat out of Star Wars lunchboxes, O.K.? Trixie chimes in. I grit my teeth and resist the urge to snap back. I don't have time for this. I'm going to be late, and I need some milk. I guess I could try and wiggle by all done. Make a hole! I shout and dive into the circle of Amazons. I move too quickly for them to block me and pinball through the huddle of girls. Get away! Gross! Stop it, little troll! You're such a loser! Taunt the Amazons as I scoot past them. The Queen steps to the side, but her phone falls out of her pocket and slides onto the hallway floor. She doesn't notice that she dropped it. I pick it up and look at the screen, but it's turned off. Just as I turn to hand it back, Mr. Gloatster grabs me by my outstretched arm. Come with me, Kelschwanky. The rest of you get to lunch. Now! Mr. Gloatster shouts. Kids scurry away like cockroaches after the lights are turned on. Mr. Gloatster still holds my arm with a vice-like grip and drags me to the office. I'll take this, Mr. Gloatster says as he pries the phone from my hand. It's not my phone, Mr. Gloatster. A girl dropped it on the floor. Save it for the principal, Kelschwanky, Mr. Gloatster replies. He lets go of my arm and points to a chair against the wall. I tell Mr. Gloatster, hey, Stu mentioned you want me to draw a beast logo for your football helmets. I could totally do that. He doesn't respond. He points to the chair in the office again. I plop down, still holding my lunchbox. Mr. Gloatster hands the phone to the secretary and then marches off. Would you look at that? No milk, but I still have my lunch safe and sound. Good job protecting that from the dark side, Luke, Obi-Wan, Han Solo, and Princess Leia. I unlatch the lid to my Star Wars lunchbox and pull out a peanut butter and banana sandwich. Delicious and nutritious. You can't eat in the office, the secretary says. I wasn't upset about getting sent to the office at first. Now I am. I'm hungry. I put the sandwich back and latch my lunchbox back up. Will I have to wait long? Principal Bombay is in a meeting. He will see you when the meeting is over, the secretary answers. I'm really sorry to trouble you, but can you call Mrs. Neely, please? I asked the secretary. I'm supposed to be in her room for a lunch detention right now. Okay, she sighs. Yeah, that's my name, I reply. Your what? My name is O.K, as in Otis Kelschwanky. See, people use my initials and call me O.K instead of Otis, the secretary interrupts. I get it. Now be quiet and don't eat your lunch. Lice diagram research project from 4th grade. Eggs, more commonly called nits. Big mama, she lays eggs. Nymphs, lice not big enough to lay eggs. Chapter 20, Grounded. Dad paces back and forth in the kitchen. So let me get this straight. You already had a detention, and on your way to that detention, you ended up getting another detention. Well, when you say it like that, it sounds kind of bad. But yeah, that's right, I answer. I think it goes without saying that you're grounded. What are we going to do with you, Otis? Mom asks. I'm about to answer, but Mom continues. Don't answer that. That's a rhetorical question. A what? I ask. A rhetorical question is a question you're not supposed to answer, Dad says. What in the H-E double hockey sticks? Am I going to be grounded and sent to everything is backwards world? Can I at least explain why I got these detentions? I plead. Yes, I would like to hear why you're such an idiot, Dad responds. Don't call him an idiot, Mom says. Sorry, Otis. I meant you make idiotic decisions. Do tell why you have been unjustly accused of these crimes, fine sir, Dad says. I think he's being sarcastic. Well, I raced the bus again today, and I had to wait for Quincy, who ran with us but was really slow. Then when I got inside, Nori asked me why I said I loved her, and by then the bell rang, so I was late. That's how I got the lunch detention. Then at lunch, Mrs. Neely let me go buy a milk in the lunchroom before I had to serve my detention, but the Amazon girls were in my way because they were looking at a cell phone, which is against the rules, by the way, and I only had like 5 minutes to get a milk and get back to the classroom. Then Amazon started making fun of me, and they said Nori has lice, but one of them dropped their phone, so I picked it up. Mr. Gloster saw me with the phone, so he took me to the office, and that's how I got the second detention. That's a pretty convoluted story, Dad says. Does that mean complicated? I ask. Kind of, Dad answers. Who are these Amazon girls? Mom asks. They are these mean girls that are popular, but I think people are only nice to them because they're afraid of being made fun of by them. I refuse to bow to the Queen and her evil dictatorship. Bow down. Never! The Queen? I thought there were more than just one, Dad says. There are, but the Queen is the meanest one. She's the one that says bad things about Leo and Nori, too. What's her name? Mom asks. I think I might wiggle out of this one. Mom might be actually on my side. Amazing. Queen Stephanie, well, her real name is Stephanie Zablocki. The teacher always calls her last for a roll because she's the only Z. She's in my gym class and rides the bus with me. Dad and Mom look at each other. Dad says, okay, you can go to your room. We're done here. You can't work out with Leo for a week, Mom adds. But I need to train to break the mile record, I cry. Dad looks at me with a strange expression on his face. I turn away, accepting my fate, and trudge toward my room. It's not like taking away my workouts with Leo is a fair punishment. I'm not going to get in trouble for doing that. Can't they just take away my TV privileges or something, like normal parents? Working out is my path to respect. They let me out for dinner, but then I have to report back to my room for the evening as well. The time passes quickly as I alternate between reading, drawing, and daydreaming. One of the things my mom likes to do is read romance novels. Whenever she has free time, she doesn't watch TV or get on the computer. She just gets out a book and sits there. The covers to her books look totally ridiculous. I haven't read any of them, but the titles and pictures on the front are hard to ignore. I decide to work on my own cover in case my epic romance with Nori ends up working out. The setting would be back in the 1700s, and I'd be a pirate. I can see it now. Nori and O.K. in the thrilling romance Pirate Booty. I hear footsteps approach my bedroom door, and I snap out of my daydream. Dad asks from outside my door, Hey, O.K., are you decent? Yeah. Why do you always ask that question? I ask Dad as he enters my room. Never enter a bedroom or bathroom that has a closed door unannounced. Remember that. You might walk in on somebody drawing pictures titled Pirate Booty, he chuckles. Oh, I say, totally embarrassed as I turn my pictures face down. Pirate Booty by Otis Kelschwanke. Listen, I'm here to make amends. So what's the deal about you and this beastly board? Dad asks. It's called the Boykinville Board of Beasts. I need to break the OK curse, and in gym there's this wall where they post the records. Are you really asking me about this? Because that's all I've talked about for a month. Don't you know already? I know. You just get so many ideas, and sometimes you don't follow through. I did paint the lines for the shuttle run for you. You're actually going after the mile record now, though? What about the pull-ups and sit-ups? I'm not good enough at those. Every few days I squeeze out one more rep, but I'm so far away from the record that I'll run out of time before they test us. The quarter ends in 5 weeks, and that's when they test us in gym. Dad says, I was a good runner in high school and college. Your mother was a very good basketball player, too. The genetics are there. We just didn't want to push you into running. or any sport for that matter, unless you really wanted to. You pushed Stu in all kinds of sports. No, we didn't. We actually held Stu out of some sports because we couldn't fit them into our schedule. You and him are exactly the same, always asking to be on every single baseball, basketball, or football team. We didn't let you guys play hockey either because it's too expensive with all that gear. But why am I always on Stu's team? Why can't I be on a team with kids my age? I ask. Dad sighs. There are 3 kids and only 2 adults. If you didn't play with the older kids on Stu's team, you couldn't play at all. You couldn't find the time for you and Stu to be in separate teams and then have Ella make her piano lessons and recitals. But unlike them, I'm just average, I say. You are very good. You'll find that out when you get to play with kids your age. Stu's just better than you now because he's older and very competitive. But you're competitive too. No, I'm not. Sometimes when I'm winning at something, I let whoever I'm playing with catch up a little. Or I show them how to get better. That's sportsmanship. But you still want to win. You trained with me for a little bit last year for that 5K. And I can see how tough you really are. What's a 5K? I ask. That race you ran with me, Dad responds. A 5K just means 5 kilometers, which is just over 3 miles. Oh, the 3-miler I ran. Well, I finished right in the middle, I say. Yeah, and you were 11 years old, running against grown-ups, and you beat half of them. Listen, don't mistake kindness for a weakness. I never want you to think that makes you soft. You're tough and kind. That's what makes you such a great kid. But I'm not great. I'm okay, I say. You are so close, trust me. Remember when Stu caught a huge largemouth bass up north? You reeled one in that was even bigger. Yeah, but it broke my line right before we could pull it into the boat. I was so mad. When we brought the boat in, I stayed on the dock fishing until past midnight just to try and catch it again. All I got for it was 1,000 mosquito bites. Yeah, I remember, Dad smiles. You're determined, you're smarter than you think, and you're going to be an exceptional athlete. You've got the drive, and I think you're on the right track with the training you've been doing. You're actually doing hard work. That's how you break the curse. I guess. Plus, I'm not getting mosquito bites when I run, even when I cut through the woods. I must be halfway fast. But Stu still beat me running to school. Nice skeeter bites, itchy McScratcher. Dad says, Stu is older than you. I should be able to beat him at something, I reply. Stu's the athlete in this family. I'm not as good as he is, and he reminds me of that every chance he gets. Listen, Stu does that because you're a threat. He's trying to beat you down, but you never give up. That's why I know you're going to break through. Hell, you already have, in my mind. Here's the reason why I came up here. Do you really want this mile record? Yeah, I want that record. Even though it's tough and all, I'm starting to like running. I'm kind of good at it. I look away from Dad. I'm still a little worried about throwing up on myself again. Well, you're not getting sick when you race the bus, are you? No, I haven't gotten sick. I've been fine, I say. This is true. I haven't had any problems. Well, then, it might have just been a one-time thing. Did you eat anything right before the race this summer? No, but I drank a whole 32-ouncer of grunt juice just before the race to get fueled up. You know, to be hydrated, like you said. Dad laughs. What? No wonder you puked. You're only supposed to drink 8 ounces max within an hour of a race. Really? So I should be fine then, right? Yeah, I'm sure of it. Besides, you don't need that energy drink grunt juice stuff. It throws off your blood sugar. Now that we have that problem solved, I gotta tell you, training for the mile is no joke. Are you sure, Otis? Yeah, for the 1,000th time. Then I'll help you. But you have to do what I say. I'm gonna make you work hard. No deviating from my plan and no more getting in trouble in school. What do you mean about helping, Dad? I want to be your coach. I'll be your personal coach. And I won't include Stu. I'd like to include Leo and Horace, if that's fine with you. What do you say? Yeah, I think that would be great. Horace can't work out with us, though. He's got to take care of his goats. Goats? Don't ask, I reply. Dad smiles and says, now remember, you're still grounded, but I talked to your mother into letting you work out so long as I am with you and Leo. Now don't get too excited. I'm going to put you through the ringer. But if you're tough enough to handle my workouts, you're going to crush that mile record. Chapter 21, Montage of Champions. Every sports movie has a part that gets me totally pumped up. It's the training scene montage, where it shows how bad the main character wants to win. There's all this ultra-hard training with some awesome music behind it. That's what the last 4 weeks feel like with Dad as our new coach. Dad says Leo and I are like Rocky as we run, sprint, stretch, lift, and sweat. I'm not grounded anymore, but we still wait for Dad to get home from work. My dad is absolutely determined to help us reach our maximum potential. He takes us to the Boykinville Beast High School track for our workouts. Every day, he has some weird running and conditioning workout for Leo and me. We still do pull-ups, sit-ups, and quickness drills for the shuttle run, but he's really pushing me in the running. Leo does a 2-mile warm-up run with me, and that's the easy part. Then I have to run a bunch more with my dad. Isn't that absurd? I have to do a 2-mile warm-up run, and then I have to run 3 more miles really fast. The funniest part is he has all kinds of names for the different things we do. We've done tempo runs, intervals, cut downs, and progressive runs. I can't say that I really understand what they all are. I just listen to Dad as he tells me to speed up or slow down. One thing is for certain, they all hurt. Want to know the goofiest workout name? Twice a week I have to run fartleks. No, I'm not making that up. Runners really do fartleks. Doot. So, I have to run and try to lick farts? I ask. No, it's a Swedish word that means speed play, where you alternate between running fast and slow, Dad replies. Well then, let's call it speed play, I say. But runners call them fartleks, he shouts. Leo and I giggle. What are they called again, Mr. Kalshwanki? Leo asks. Knock it off and get running, boys, Dad says as he shakes his head. Here are a few other things that I've learned about running. After all of this working out, my legs ache non-stop. I'm experiencing some chafing between my legs and my nipples are starting to hurt. Side effects of getting into shape by running. Shirt rubs against nipples as you run, causing your nipples to bleed. Inner thighs rub together, creating some painful chafing. Muscles in legs ache constantly. Blistered and calloused feet. Also, walking up or down stairs is absolutely brutal. I asked Dad if all of this is normal. Yeah, all that is pretty normal. I'll get you some Body Glide for your legs, and just run with your shirt off or put Band-Aids on your nipples, he calmly replies. As for your legs, they'll always be sore. Get used to it. The weeks buzz by. I feel like I'm getting faster, but Dad doesn't tell me any times. Leo is dominating in 2 events. He's around 24 to 25 pull-ups, and his sit-ups are really good too. On the last weekend before the big race, Stu joins us at the track to run a workout with us. We do our regular 2-mile warm-up run, and then do some push-ups and sit-ups. Is this all there is to the workout? Stu asks. Dad says, I have something else in mind, actually. What do you think, boys? Could you beat your old man in a 400? You mean you want to race us? I ask. I'm out, Leo shouts. I'll watch the finish line in case of a photo finish. I'm in, I say. Sure, I'll take you all down, Stu declares. Sounds good. Let me get loose, and then it's on. Dad walks over to the fence that borders the track and starts doing some goofy stretches. Stu and I both chuckle as he does all sorts of knee bends and leg wiggles. Come on, Dad, Stu says. Fine. You have to do a little extra to get loose when you get old like me, Dad says. We line up 3 wide on the start line. I'm on the inside, Dad's in the middle, my brother takes the outside. Runners, to your marks, Leo shouts. We toe the line. Set! Dad elbows me and then shoves my brother. Go! Shouts Leo. Dad surges to the lead since he knocked both Stu and me off balance. Stu is quicker to recover and he manages to get right behind my father after about 50 meters. I run as fast as my legs will carry me, and finally I'm able to get on their heels on the backstretch. Stu swings wide and gets on Dad's shoulder at the halfway point. I hang tight to the curve, running one notch below my top speed. I'm doing everything I can to hang on, but at least I'm still in the race at this point. At 250 meters, Dad starts to fade, and Stu takes the lead. I swing wide to get around Dad. He chugs around the curve, and we both hit the home stretch about 5 meters behind Stu. My form is holding together, and I reach down for that extra gear. It's still there. I kick it in, past my dad, and close the gap. Stu feels my presence and speeds away from me. I can't catch him. Only a little way to go. Dad reappears and we run stride for stride. The finish is just meters away. Right at the line, Dad sticks out his chest and leans across the finish line right ahead of me. Race over. I didn't beat Stu or my dad. "Oh man," Leo shouts. "That really was a photo finish. Mr. Kalschwanke got second with a lean at the line." Stu gasps for breath. "Well, I won." I want to say something mean back, but I know if I do, Stu will shove me to the ground. I can hardly stand on my own right now. "I finished third," I mutter. "Yeah, I guess you did," Leo said. "I finished third?" I ask in disbelief. "Sorry, OK, don't take it so hard," Dad says. "No, you don't get it. I didn't finish in the middle. The curse is broken. It's getting worse." My head begins to spin. I take a knee on the track so I don't faint. Stu says, "Wow, so you're just a loser like I always thought." Chapter 22, Love Letters. I'm not a loser. A girl might actually like me. No girl in her right mind would like Stu. He's a disgusting mutant. The only problem is I think Nori likes me, but I don't know what to do. I guess I should talk to a girl to try and figure it out. Girls are weird, I tell Mom. I prefer the word mysterious. "Okay, are you having girl problems?" Mom asks. I'm not sure if she's serious or if she's mocking me. I don't know. A girl overheard me say I liked her, and she got all mad. That's not the weird part. I said that like weeks ago. I didn't, do anything else. Now all of a sudden she's giving me notes in art class. "Are you responding to the notes?" Mom asks. I can tell now that she's being sincere. "Well, no, I don't know what to say," I reply. "Warning, don't actually duct tape your mouth. It hurts something fierce when you pull it off." Otis Kalschwanke, that is so disappointing. Letters are a long-lost art. You're good with words, plus you're a good artist. What's the girl's name? Nori, I say. That's a pretty name. Now, I'm not encouraging you to start some intimate relationship with her. Mom! I was going to finish by suggesting that you should at least write her back. Mom says, "Oh, and don't tell anyone else about your letters, or anything about a relationship when you are with a girl. Gentlemen never tell. Well, you should tell their parents everything, but no one else." "Not even Leo?" I ask. "Not even Leo." The next time I'm in art class, I have a letter ready for Nori. Slicker than a can of grease, I walk by Nori's desk and slip my first note into Nori's binder during class. "Dear Nori, I'm still very sorry. I didn't mean to make you upset. Will you accept my apology? P.S. That's a picture of one of my cats." 2 days later in art, Nori returns the favor. As she walks by my table in art class, she slides the note stealthily under the picture I'm drawing. "Okay, I accept your apology, but we can't be friends. Don't get any ideas because my dad is really strict. I can't have a boyfriend until high school. I can't even talk or text with boys on my phone until then. What about your parents? P.S. Cute cat." I really like this letter exchange thing. It feels so mature. Plus, it's low tech. No one can trace our activities because our correspondence is strictly offline. That's the way you have to run covert operations these days anyways. We're not just under the radar, we're off the grid. I think for the next note, I should bump into her and put it in her pocket. It would be like a reverse pickpocket. Did you know that's how thieves do that? They run into you on purpose to get you all flustered so you don't feel them stealing your stuff. In actuality, the whole pickpocket idea is just an excuse to touch her, I confess. Unfortunately, common sense prevails, and I just place the note in her binder again in art class. Dear Nori, those are my parents. I'm not so sure about their rules as far as phones go. I don't have my own phone yet. That's too bad about no calls or texts to boys, but can we still exchange notes? It's like we're secret agents. Nori doesn't even wait to reply. On her way to the pencil sharpener, she slips a note under the picture I'm drawing, right before class is about to end. Hey, OK, you're so sweet. Of course we can exchange notes. XOXOXO. I'm not sure about that last part of her note. What does XOXO mean? When we walk out of class, Nori corners me and asks me a weird question. OK, you still friends with Leo? Yeah, why? I ask. Someone said you are saying mean stuff about him on the internet, she responds. What did it say? I ask. My friend said that you have your own website. On it, you are calling Leo really mean things like mama's boy and some racist stuff too. I guess it's pretty bad. I know who's doing that, I say through clenched teeth. Gotta go, Nori says. With that, she's gone. That night, I tell my parents I need to look something up on the internet. They say I can have 5 minutes. First, I try to find a website with my name on it, but I don't see anything. Then I look up XOXO. It means hugs and kisses. Chapter 23, Reverse Curse. I didn't finish second in my race with Stu and Dad, but I tried really hard. Technically, the OK curse is broken, but am I destined to be worse now? It's not fair. I'm trying harder than I ever have before, and the fitness tests are this week. I need to be first, not last. Today is the first of 2 days in the beastly week of beasts, Mr. Glowster booms in gym class. We will have 2 challenges today, the shuttle run and the pull-ups. Then on Thursday, we will do the sit-ups and run the mile. Now fall in line for the shuttle run. The class quickly lines up in alphabetical order for the shuttle run. 2 cones are set up on opposite sides of the basketball floor. Mr. Glowster steps in front of the line and says, Now we test how quick our quickness is with the shuttle run. The average time last year was 9.5 seconds, and the current record is a blazing 7.1 seconds. Let's get to work. A symphony of squeaky shoes on the glossy wooden floor begins as kids bolt through the shuttle run with Mr. Glowster standing by the start. After each runner finishes, he belts out their finish time. A few kids run just under 9 seconds, but no one gets close to the record. Finally, it's my turn. My heart is beating fast, like it wants to leap out of my chest. Beads of sweat form on my forehead, and I haven't even started. Step up to the line. The line, Kel Schwanke, Mr. Glowster demands. On your marks, set, go! I explode off the line toward the first cone. My forward momentum is too strong, and I stop way past the cone. I sprint back towards the start, and once again I can't slow down. One foot slips, and I bang my knee against the wooden floor. Without losing too much time, I dart towards the back cone for the second time. Finally, I make a good stop and sprint towards the finish. You got some quickness, Kel Schwanke, but you made too many mistakes. That was 9.9 seconds. Who's next? Leo Neely, you're up. What's going on? Is there a reverse curse? I didn't even get a 9.5. I'm below average. I'm not even okay. I sit on the bleachers with my head down and then realize I should be cheering for Leo. I look up just as he finishes his shuttle run. Mr. Glowster shows Leo his time on the stopwatch, and then Leo comes to the bleachers and sits by me. I'm below average now. Keep your chin up, Otis. What was your time? I ask. I ran 8.3, he responds. That's pretty good. I shrug my shoulders and look at the floor. Come on, Otis. Let's watch Horace go. He's coming up next. I reluctantly stand up and walk to the side of the court to see Horace's attempt at the shuttle run. Step up to the line, Petrino, Mr. Glowster says. I've been working on my quickness for months by chasing my goats. Me, Leo, and OK are going to break all the beast records. We're the OK crew. You're about to see history in the making, Mr. Glowster. You're about to run some laps after this is over, Petrino, Mr. Glowster says. The class laughs. I try not to, but I crack a smile. On your marks, Set, go! Horace shoots off the line, stops on a dime, and returns to the start. He changes direction again, quicker than a jitterbug, and heads for the back cone. Horace plants his foot, turns for the finish, flies past the line, and almost falls as he stops by the bleachers. That was 7.0 seconds, Horace, Mr. Glotzer says. Good job on your record. Now give me 5 laps. Yeah, I'm a beast, Horace shouts. Come on, Otis, let's run with him, Leo says. We catch up to Horace and jog right next to him. Wow, that was amazing, Horace. You're quicker than lightning, I say. Yeah, quick like a goat, he says. Are goats quick? Leo asks. Not really, but sometimes I put grease on them, so they're really slippery to grab, Horace says. Leo shakes his head in disbelief. You grease your goats? Wait, don't explain any more. I think I've heard enough. So are you guys going to break some records too? Horace asks. Yes, Leo shouts. No, I mumble. Mr. Glotzer meant these laps to be punishment. We tell Horace that they're victory laps. We finish them out and head over to the pull-up bar. For this physical challenge, Mr. Glotzer has us line up in reverse alphabetical order. The class average is 5 pull-ups, which, if you ask me, is totally pathetic. The only thing you kids nowadays are good at is pulling up your pull-up diaper, Horace blurts. My little sister wears those. Without missing a beat, Mr. Glotzer just points to Horace, and he steps out of the line to do some more laps. Mr. Glotzer says, Will someone besides Horace impress me today? Maybe I should make you all run laps like him. Now, let's get on that pull-up bar and do some pull-ups. Stephanie Zablocki, you're up. That's the queen. She rattles off 9 pull-ups, struggles a bit, and manages to get 10. No way she's stronger than me. One by one, the rest of the class takes their turn hanging from the bar to try and manage a few reps. Horace returns from his laps and manages to crank out 21 pull-ups. It looks like working on the farm with goats gets you in great shape. He really is a beast. Next up is Leo. Get up on that pull-up bar and do pull-ups, Neely, Mr. Glotzer shouts. You count, Kalschwanke. Yes, sir, Leo and I answer. Leo turns to the wall and jumps up to grab the bar. With minimal effort, Leo rips off 15 pull-ups as I count. 15, 16, 17. The higher I count, the more 7th graders start to take notice. Even Mr. Glotzer watches as Leo continues. Leo gets into the 20s and starts to slow. 21, 22, 23. Come on, Leo. 24, 25. Leo dominates at pull-ups. After 25 pull-ups, Leo stops for a moment. He turns his head and smiles a bit. Leo wiggles back and forth and readjusts his grip. Then he starts to rise up. 26! One more for a record. 27! All the kids in gym start to clap and cheer, but Leo doesn't stop there. He forces his way up again and again. 28! Yeah, Leo, 29! Leo tries for 30, but with his arms shaking, his grip slips, and he drops gracefully to his feet. Amazing, man! 29 pull-ups? I reach my hand up for a turkey. I don't think I can lift my arms up, okay? He puts his hands down low for a double secret turkey handshake. Horace and a bunch of other kids come by and congratulate Leo too. The queen frowns as she stands with a few of her cronies off to the side. Mr. Glotzer calls my name for pull-ups. I'm so nervous. Just get the double digits, okay? I wipe the sweat off my forehead with my hands and jump up on the bar for my turn. I can't get a good grip. My hands are so sweaty. As quick as I can, I churn out a few pull-ups. I try to readjust my hold, but I lose my grip and stumble to the ground. 4 pull-ups, Kalschwanke, Mr. Glotzer says. I know I can do better than that, Mr. Glotzer. I've been practicing for months. Can I try again? I beg. Mr. Glotzer says, sure, next year. Chapter 24. It's going to be okay, okay. The only bright spot so far this week has been the workouts are much easier. Dad takes it real easy on us tonight. Tomorrow, we have our fitness tests for both the mile and sit-ups. I feel like a Greek god, Lou reports after we finish our run. I feel different too. Since Dad hasn't made us run very hard this week, my legs feel real light and springy. He says we're in the taper now. It means we've tapered back our workouts so we're fresh. Yes, indeed. We have to save our strength for the big run, okay? Remember to eat healthy tonight too, Leo says. Yeah, I've given up cheese balls and cookies for the week. I haven't had either since Saturday night. Did you eat that cookie Horace brought for his birthday yesterday? Leo asks. Does a snake have armpits?
Does a snake have armpits? That's so silly.
Does a what have what? Leo giggles. You heard me. No, I gave my cookie to one of the Amazons as a peace offering, but she said something snotty about not wanting to get fat. I looked at her a few minutes later, and she was devouring it. Why didn't you save it for Nori? Asked Leo. Good question. I didn't think of it. I guess I'm totally focused on this race. After our workout, Dad takes Leo home, and I head into my house and up to my room. The past few nights, I've been having trouble sleeping. The OK curse has gotten worse. I'm below average in the shuttle run and in the pull-ups. I'm having nightmares about not getting my full name, Otis Kalshwanki, up on the board. Mr. Gloatster immediately put Horace and Leo's name on the beastly board of beasts. I saw them today when I snuck by the gym between classes. The big race is tomorrow, and I need to get some rest, or I'll have no chance at joining them. Knock, knock, a squeaky voice calls from outside my door. Go away, I need to sleep. The door swings open, and Bad Sister stands in the doorway with a keyboard under her arm. I should have seen this coming. After my poor performance in gym class on Tuesday, I made the mistake of telling Bad Sister that I was doomed to a life of failure. She said she would make it all better. Coming from her, this could only mean she would make up a song for me. Bad Sister saunters inside my room and does a little twirl to draw attention to her sparkly black concert dress. Hi there! I brought Lucy in here to help you relax. It's not a person, it's a dumb keyboard, I grumble. How dare you say such a thing to Lucy? She's here for you, OK? Bad Sister sets the keyboard on my desk, flicks the power switch on, and then whispers to it. It's fine, Lucy. He didn't mean it. She sits down at my desk with her back perfectly straight and hands hovering above the keys. Just get on with it, Bad Sister. I need some sleep. Dearest brother, Lucy and Ella have come together for a special performance of a brand new song, aptly titled, It's Going to Be OK. OK? Enjoy. I sit on my bed and stare blankly at Bad Sister as she begins to play. Are you feeling really down? On your face is there a frown? Do you like this pretty gown? It's going to be OK. OK? OK. OK? Having problems at the school. No one wants to play the fool. It's kind of gross when you drool. It's going to be OK. OK? OK. OK? When life's got you on the run, don't give in. You're not done. We'll all have our own moment in the sun. Even if your moment is far away, the sun will part through the gray. Your day might be tomorrow, just not today. It's going to be OK. OK? OK, OK? Bad Sister softly lifts her hands up from the keyboard as the last note fades. She glances up at me with a smile, waiting for approval. When do I drool? I ask. I don't know. I was struggling for a rhyme there, but maybe you drool in your sleep. Do you like it? Yeah, it's good. The drooling part was actually my favorite. Now get out of here, I gotta get some sleep. Just remember, Bad Sister sings, it's going to be OK. OK? OK. OK? Chapter 25. Warm Up with Sausage Link. Dad was so pumped up about Leo breaking the record for pull-ups, he gave Leo and me a big speech after our last workout together. You guys were born to be champions. Those other guys, their time is over. I'm sick and tired of hearing, Leo interrupted. Mr. Kalshwanki, that speech is from the hockey movie Miracle. You've seen that one, Leo? Asked Dad. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm not good at speeches. How about this? Dominate, Dad shouted. Am I going to dominate? That mile record is really tough. What if I actually do it? How will I celebrate my victory? Horace, Leo, and I would all be on the board of beasts. We would be like the kings of the school. We three kings. I know that song. Down with the queen. I think that's like an oligarchy when more than one king runs a kingdom. I'll have to look that up, though, because I'm not sure. Right before my mom leaves for work on the day of the big race, she asks me a series of strange questions. Otis, have you been on the internet lately? Have you been working in the computer lab at school? Does Leo have a smartphone? When you're at Leo's house, do you go on the computer? The answer is no to all of them. The last thing she says as she walks out the door is, I need to meet with your principal. I stare out the screen door and wonder why she said that. I don't think I did anything to warrant a meeting with the principal. Once she's gone, I hustle upstairs to grab my bag. Otis, the dog got out! Bad sister screams. Oh no! The dog got out? I gotta catch the bus. I gotta be at school. I gotta run the mile today. No, no, no! I run to the door and see Sausage Link chasing his tail in the front yard. Stu! Bad sister! One of you has to catch the dog. I gotta ride the bus today. I've got my race today. I have gym first period. I gotta break the curse. No way, OK, Stu says. I'm not gonna be late. I won't get to play on Friday then. Besides, you left the front door open again, moron. Bad sister, please, please, please. I beg. Sorry, Otis. I'm not getting any perspiration on this fabulous new outfit. Bad sister then walks down the hallway and twirls in front of me like she's some kind of model on the catwalk. I snatch her book bag off her shoulder and heave it against the wall. Hey! She shouts. She tries to walk past me to grab her bag, so I kick it away from her again. Before I can even turn to defend myself, Stu slugs me right in the back. Ah, stop it, Stu! You want to fight, fight me, Stu says. I hate you all! I shout. Stu struts out the door, but Bad Sister stands in front of me with her arms crossed. I grab her bag off the ground and hand it to her. I'm sorry, I say. I've got to get to the bus. She tosses her bag over her shoulder and prances out the door. I follow her out, but while she walks toward the bus, I turn and head right for the dog. Sausage Link stares at me for a moment with that idiotic tilted head look and then dashes into the backyard. Why so mad? I just want to play. Leo runs over from the bus stop. He pleads with me to come on the bus, but I know Mom and Dad would kill me if I let the dog run free all day. The least I can do is take your bag, he suggests. I hand it over and peer across the yard at my arch nemesis, Sausage Link. I march inside to get some dog treats and stomp back out shaking the bag. Hey, dog! Get your treats! Come on, you jerk! The dog treats aren't working this time. Sausage Link keeps a watchful eye on me as I beg him to come back. This can't be happening. The bus comes and goes without me as I walk from yard to yard following Sausage Link. He must know I'm mad because he won't even come within 10 feet of me. After about 30 minutes of pleading for Sausage Link to come, I sit down in the middle of my backyard. The grass is still covered with morning dew, and I can feel it soaking through my shorts. I try not to cry, but water wells up in my eyes. When I blink, a few tears stream down my face. I'm late for school. I'm missing gym. I'll never break the mile record. I use my sleeve to wipe the tears away, and I feel a furry body rub against my side. Sausage Link! He puts his head in my lap and lies down on the grass with me. Come on, buddy, let's get you inside, I say. I gently take Sausage Link by the collar and lead him inside. Then I start a slow jog towards the school. By the time I arrive at the school, it's well into second period. Gym class is already over. After the office checks me in, I walk to Mrs. Neely's classroom. No students are in the classroom. Mrs. Neely is sitting behind her desk grading papers. Hi, Mrs. Neely, I'm sorry I'm late. Where's the class? I ask. Oh, Otis, you made it here. We had to switch our first and second class periods around today with a few 8th grade classrooms. You have gym right now. Mrs. Neely stands up from her desk. She leans over and whispers to me. Actually, it was Leo's idea, but let's keep that a secret. What? You two switched the periods around for me so I didn't miss gym? I say in disbelief. Come on, honey. I'll walk down to the gym with you. You might have missed the sit-ups, but they always do the mile last. Leo says you're quite the runner. Mrs. Neely walks around her desk. Before she can get past me, I give her a big hug. Chapter 26. Don't poop your pants. Where were you, eating crumpets and cupcakes for breakfast instead of testing your physical limits? Mr. Glowster says. Actually, he had to catch his runaway puppy, Mr. Glowster. The office has cleared him. You think he can still do some of the fitness tests? Asked Mrs. Neely. Of course he can. You think I wouldn't allow someone to perspire and sweat? Mr. Glowster says. Leo turns and sees me. He smiles and waves me over. I run right up to him holding up a big high five. He hits my hand with his fist and thumb out. What's up, Turkey? I say. Yeah, okay, you made it. We already did sit-ups, but Horace didn't hold me steady, which totally sunk my chances at a record there. He didn't set a record in that one either. I'm not going to be setting any records today. The OK curse lives on, I state. Why? Did you sprint to get here? Asked Leo. No, I jogged. Sounds like the warm-up run your dad always makes us do, Leo remarks. He's right. My jog to school is just like a warm-up run. I can still do this. Stop yapping and line up in a line. We're going out to the outside. It's time for the mile, Mr. Glowster says. All of us students fall in line behind the doors that lead outside. Mrs. Neely turns to Mr. Glowster and asks, Do you mind if I stay and watch the kids run? I really like to see what my son and Otis here can do. Be my guest, Mrs. Neely, Mr. Glowster responds. Mrs. Neely waves to us as she makes her way onto the bleachers. She takes a seat, pulls out her smartphone, but then looks up and watches as we get ready to run the mile. Mr. Glowster and Mrs. Neely walk to the front of the line and then lead us outside. We follow Mr. Glowster as we walk on the path that leads us to the Boykinville track. The time has finally come. This is the track where I've trained for weeks and weeks. We step onto the dark rubberized surface and head towards the start line. I'm so nervous. My heart rate immediately jumps. 4 laps of fury are about to begin. Relax, okay? Think about what Dad would say right now. Be light on your feet. Run with courage. And whatever you do, don't poop your pants. What? Does that really happen? Dad's voice pops into my head. I can hear him saying all those things he's been telling me over and over during the last few weeks of running together. Go out fast, but relaxed. Be light on your feet. Expect to be tired, but stay strong. Push yourself after 2 laps. Run with courage. You can do it, okay? I know you can run a mile faster than 5:38. Don't poop your pants. I don't know why he told me that last one. I have problems with puking, not pooping. I think he just wanted me to laugh. Leo walks over to me and whispers, You're warmed up. You're ready, Otis. That 5:38 mile time is going down. Now do it. I smile at him and then toe the starting line. Mr. Glowster stands 10 feet in front of the starting line on the inside of the track. He announces, Runners, to your marks. Set. Go! A flurry of legs and elbows fly off the starting line. I don't shoot to the front right away, and a few other boys, including Horace, blast past me. I'll ride these kids for a while until their adrenaline burns off and the pace slackens. We round the first turn and head down the backstretch. I keep talking to myself in my head to stay focused. Stay smooth, okay? You're going great. We round the second turn, and the leaders are starting to fade. Without breaking my stride, I float to the second lane and glide past them one by one as we finish the first lap. Mr. Glowster stands there with a stopwatch, shouting at the runners. Great job, Kalshwalkie! Keep it up, Petrino! Come on, Neely! Right after the first lap, I scoot by Horace and take the lead. Will Horace hang right behind me? Is Leo back there too? No time to look. Stay smooth. Stay focused. I can't hear any kids behind me. I'm all alone now. Me versus the clock. It's getting harder to breathe. My legs ache, but I keep pushing forward. Stay quick, okay? Lap 2 is done. Mr. Glowster hollers. You got a record in you, Kalshwalkie? 2:35 at the half. I'm under pace. Keep it up. Keep pushing. Already I can see some kids walking on the backstretch. Use them. Pretend they're already in front of you. Chase them down. Pass them. I fly by a few kids as I round the curve. Keep pushing, okay? What did Dad say about lap 3? Run with courage. Run with courage. Stay tough. Here comes the last lap. Go, Kalshwalkie, shouts Mr. Glowster. I keep talking to myself. Stay positive. Get after it. Last lap. Just up ahead, I see the Queen of the Amazons. Pass her. Bury her. As I swing wide to pass the queen, she sticks out her leg and tries to trip me. I deftly jump over it, but she falls down in a heap. Ah! I hear her moan. She's nothing. She's gone. I set my sights on the record. I keep passing more and more kids. No one can stop me. My lungs are burning. Here comes the home stretch. Sprint, okay? I search deep inside and find another gear. I open my stride up to a full sprint. Fly towards the finish line. Vision is blurry. Can't feel my legs. Keep going. I cross the finish line and peel off the track. My legs are wobbly. It's so hard to breathe, and I can feel my pulse pounding in my head. My stomach is doing cartwheels. Don't puke, don't puke. Keep it together. Where's Mr. Glowster? My vision is still pretty blurry, but I don't see him standing anywhere. Wait a minute. He's helping the queen? Mr. Glowster has his arm around the queen and is assisting her as she limps across the football field towards the starting line. I hear footsteps and turn my attention down the track for the next two runners to come into the finish. Horace and Leo are running neck and neck down the straightaway. Come on, Leo and Horace, give it your all, I gasp. Leo pulls away from Horace and he crosses the line in second. Horace slows down and jogs across the finish line for third place. Woo, you're the man, Leo. Great work, Horace. Horace lies down in the middle of the track. Mr. Glowster is back by the finish line, still helping the queen stand upright. She's totally not hurt. I'm not buying it. Mr. Glowster shouts, Get up, Horace, or I'll make you run some more. Horace slowly gets back to his feet and shambles onto the infield. Leo turns around and walks towards Mr. Glowster. What's his time? Leo asks between breaths. Your time was 6:09, Mr. Glowster reports. No, what was O.K.'s time? Leo wheezes as he points at me. Oh yeah, what was my time? I ask. Sorry, I missed it. I had to help out Stephanie, Mr. Glowster says. The queen flashes an evil grin towards me. She then turns back and starts whining to Mr. Glowster about her twisted ankle. Chapter 27. Get off the bus. Horace did it. Leo did it. I know I did it. We should all be beasts. My time had to be faster than the record, but the foul, malicious, nefarious queen ruined it all. I still can't wrap my head around it all. My head throbs in pain from the Herculean effort I just put forth. I torched my legs by racing 5,280 feet as fast as I possibly could. What a strange distance the mile is. There really are 5,280 feet in a mile. Dad told me this factoid multiple times. What a weird distance. The bell rings to close out the school day. Leo zips out of the class. I struggle with my organizational skills, so it takes me a minute or two to stuff all my papers into my binder. I'm always the last one on the bus back home, so Leo gets on first to save a seat for me. I don't know what I'm going to tell Mom, Dad, Bad Sister, and especially Stu about what happened in gym. Well, I know Stu won't care. In my locker, I cram my homework into my backpack, but I don't have any room for my Star Wars lunchbox. I guess I'll just carry it off to the bus. I line up to get on the bus right behind the Queen of the Amazons. She had to know I was going to set a new record, didn't she? We walk into the bus, and I see Leo sitting in her usual spot about halfway back. I wait in the aisle for a moment as the Queen leans over to say something to Trixie, one of her Amazon friends. Just as I'm about to get to Leo's seat, Trixie puts her leg out, and I tumble forward. Inadvertently, I push the Queen as I start to fall. The Queen stumbles, but doesn't fall. My backpack slips off somehow, and it ends up under a bus seat. Watch where you're going, lunchbox boy, barks the Queen. You almost knocked me over. Trixie laughs, and the Queen joins her. Still on the aisle floor, I try to pull my backpack out from under the seat. The Queen kicks my arm. Ah, that hurt, I say. Ah, that hurt, the Queen mocks me. Just move for a second and let me get my backpack, I say. You move. You're the one that pushed me, she snaps. I pull out the bag and can't get it loose. I'm still holding my lunchbox in one hand, so I set it down to use both hands. Then, the Queen kicks my lunchbox away and it goes towards Leo's seat. Seriously, stop it, I shout. Fetch, boy, she says. I've got it, Otis, Leo says. He leans over in his seat to grab it, but I'm able to snatch my lunchbox before he does. Then the queen pushes Leo, and he falls onto the seat. I get to my knees as Leo stands up from his seat. I can see the anger in Leo's face. He turns to face the queen. "She's not worth it, Leo," I say as I stand up holding my lunchbox with both hands. I glare at the queen. Even though Mr. Gloster didn't see it, I know I broke the record. We're beasts. You're nothing. You're not even good at being a bully. We're not scared of you, and we will never be. You're nothing. You're nobody. Leo nods and looks at the queen. "You're right. She's not worth it." Leo turns his head and goes to sit down, but the queen shoves him, and wham! He slams into the side of the bus. "Stop it!" I get between Leo and the queen. She turns to me, and I can see her arm cocked back with her fist clenched. She's going to try and hit me. The queen telegraphs her punch way too easily, and I hold my lunchbox up in front of my face. The flaming skulls in her eyes clued me in. She's going to punch me. Crunch goes the queen's fist against my lunchbox. "Ah!" she screams. "Stop it now!" shouts the big man who drives our bus route. I turn my lunchbox around to get a good look at the front of it. Luke Skywalker is totally mangled. She broke my lunchbox. "Get off my bus," the bus driver says to me. "Sorry, sir. Just let me help my friend. Are you good?" I ask Leo. He hunches over, on his knees in the seat. I think he's hurt. But then he pops his head up and pulls my backpack out from under the seat. "Got it. Here's your backpack," he says. I offer my hand to Leo to help him up. He waves me off and walks into the aisle. "I'm fine," Leo says. The queen is sobbing. She holds her fist and wails, but the rest of the bus is absolutely silent. Leo and I head to the front of the bus. Trixie, the other Amazon, slithers away from the aisle. I reach the front of the bus and head down the stairs. As I step off, I hear the bus driver on the radio. He's calling the principal. Standing in the parking lot, I look down at my lunchbox. Dad is gonna be so mad at me. This was supposed to be my greatest day ever, but I didn't break the record. I got in a fight, and now I broke Dad's favorite thing in the world. I broke Dad's lunchbox. He's gonna kill me, I state. My stomach is rolling, and my head starts to spin. Leo puts his arm around me, but I push it away. My mouth starts to fill up with saliva, and my eyes begin to water. I shuffle over to a garbage can by the school entrance. My abs tighten, my stomach revolts, and I throw up in the trash. A few more heaves and my stomach is empty. I spit a few times to try and get the taste of vomit out of my mouth. I back away from the trash can while wiping the water out of my eyes with my shirt sleeve. I fill right back up. The tears keep coming. Chapter 28, That Was Not O.K. It takes a long time for Mr. Bombay to get to the bus, so I'm able to stop crying, and my stomach feels a little better. Leo promises me he won't tell anyone about it. He even gives me a breath mint that he had in his pocket. Mr. Bombay makes the Queen of the Amazons get off the bus too, and then sends the bus on its way. He calls our mothers to meet at the school. When everyone is there, Mr. Bombay leads the Queen and her mother, Mrs. Neely and Leo, and my mother and me into a large meeting room in the main office. All is quiet in the meeting room except for a few sobs coming from the Queen. She holds a bag of ice over her hand. The principal closes the door to the meeting room and turns to us. "We have quite the situation here," he says as he sits down at the head of the conference table. "Leo, why don't you start? Share what happened on the bus first." The Queen's mother points at Mrs. Neely.
"I don't see why she has to be here."
The Queen's mom looks like an older and wrinklier version of the Queen. Do I have it all wrong? The mom is the Queen, and Stephanie is the princess? What a royally disgusting duo. Miss Zablocki has way too much makeup on her puffy face. She's dressed like her daughter, in short shorts and a tight shirt accentuating a few rolls on her belly. To top it off, her hair is exactly the same bleached blonde color, except for the half-inch of hair by her scalp that's dark brown. Mr. Bombay responds, "Miss Zablocki, I trust that with his mother by his side, Leo will tell me exactly what happened." Leo pauses. Mrs. Neely calmly encourages Leo. Go ahead, son. Just tell the truth. Leo looks at the principal and starts. Well, I was already on the bus, and I saved a spot for Otis. He was walking in behind Stephanie, and he fell and bumped into her. Her friend tripped me, I interrupt. Otis, my mother says, we'll get our turn. Now be quiet. The principal takes a deep breath. Continue, Leo. So Otis fell and dropped his backpack. He tried to get it, but Stephanie kicked him in the arm. I did not, Stephanie sobs. Let him finish, Mr. Bombay says. He looks back at Leo and motions for him to continue. Then she kicked Otis's lunch pail away from him, and that went under my seat. She said, fetch, boy. I bent down to grab the lunchbox, and then Stephanie pushed me over. I stood up, and then she pushed me again. Then Otis stepped between us. Otis didn't step between us. Otis punched me, she says. No, I stopped in mid-sentence, remembering to wait my turn. Then Stephanie went to punch Otis, but he blocked it with his lunchbox. Leo's voice quivers. I'm sorry, Otis. I'm sorry, Mom. It's all right, Leo, Mrs. Neely says. She puts her arm around Leo. Otis, did you hit Stephanie? Asked the principal. No, I got between Leo and Stephanie to try and stop the fight. You need to suspend him, shouts Miss Zablocki. I'll make my decision soon enough, answers the principal. Now, Stephanie, did you push Leo over? No, he was trying to knock me over and he fell back in his seat, she says. That's a lie, I say. Control your son, barks Miss Zablocki. Don't worry about him. I think you need to keep an eye on your daughter, my mother says. I've heard enough from everyone, says the principal. Not yet you haven't, my mother continues. Remember the meeting we were supposed to have tomorrow, Mr. Bombay? I think it would be very helpful if I shared that right now. I don't see how it can be helpful, but if you insist, go ahead, says the principal. And I do insist, my mom says. She reaches into her book bag and pulls out a large file folder. What's this stuff? First, she sets aside a stack of computer printouts. She also sets out my assignment notebook. 2 nights ago, I was made aware of a website that had my son's name on it. As a matter of fact, this website has my son's name and picture on it. She slides 2 pieces of paper over the table, one for Mr. Bombay and one for Miss Zablocki. Mr. Bombay isn't the most attractive man, but he does sport a pretty sweet stash. Mom continues. At first I thought this was another one of my son's projects, but after reading a little bit, I realized this wasn't his work. This seems to be a site that disparages my son and all of his friends. Otis prefers to tell everyone how great he is. Across the table, Stephanie sinks deeper into her chair. She's not even looking at the papers. Can I see it, Mom? I ask. No, it's better that you never see this. As I was saying, someone made a website to intentionally slander my son's name and reputation. Miss Zablocki interrupts. Why are you talking about this now? We should be talking about how long that boy should be suspended. Mom puts her hands flat on the table. I'll just cut to the chase then. Stephanie and her friends tried to bully my son at school. When it didn't work according to their plan, they changed their strategy. Now they are bullying Leo and Nori because they are friends with Otis. Stephanie made this website to share their hateful stories and spread lies and rumors about Leo, Nori, and my son. No, she didn't, Miss Zablocki says. You didn't do this, did you? She asks her daughter. No, mumbles Stephanie. Mr. Bombay says, Mrs. Kalshwanki, even if she did do this, which I'm not sure you can prove, this activity is happening outside the school. We can't really do anything about it. Well, yes, I can prove that she did it. Also, I can tell you that it is happening in the school. And you better do something about it, Mr. Bombay. You know I'm a kindergarten teacher in this school district, right? I wasn't aware of that, mumbles Mr. Bombay. Well, I am. I would hope that a principal in the school district where I work and where my children attend school would help cultivate a positive school environment. I'm ready to help you, though. Mom looks at me. Let's get the first part out of the way. Otis, you know what Uncle Ryan does, right? I nod my head, but I don't know why she's bringing him up right now. She turns and stares at Mr. Bombay. My brother, Ryan, works for the Naval Criminal Investigative Services, more commonly known as NCIS. His specialty is using computers to catch criminals. I contacted him 2 days ago to see if he could find out who was making this website. Here are the records. She slides over another piece of paper. These are called IP addresses. Every time someone makes an entry on a website, the computer sends along an IP address. My brother tracked these IP addresses to your home, Miss Zablocki. Oh, and it gets better. It also tracks some entries from mobile devices during the school day. Do you want to take a guess whose phone I'm talking about? My mother asks. No one looks very willing to speak at this time, so my mother continues. Oh, I'll tell you anyway. It's your phone, Stephanie. Well, you have the majority of the entries during the school day. Your friends add a few here and there. My mother pauses to slide over my student handbook. It's open to the rules section, a section I never read, at the front of the book. Cell phone rules, highlighted area. If a student has a cell phone visible during the school day, it will be taken away. Harassment/bullying, highlighted areas. Number 2. Name calling or put downs. Number 4. Homophobic language. Number 6. Insults or assaults against someone due to their sex, race, economic status, religion, or ethnic group. Number 7. Starting or spreading cruel rumors. Number 8. Using a computer or telecommunications device to send or post embarrassing, slanderous, threatening, or intimidating messages. Cyberbullying. Asterisks. Even if the cyberbullying happens outside of the school day, it affects the school climate, so participants will be disciplined. Mrs. Neely says, do you mind if I have a look too? I'd like to help put a stop to this in the school where I work. Mom says, thank you, Mrs. Neely. I'd appreciate your help. Now, Mr. Bombay, if you don't believe this information, just look at the pictures closely. They are all taken here, in this school. I had to sign a form stating that my son would abide by the rules in this handbook, Mr. Bombay. If you want me to read them back to you, I can, but I highlighted the ones that involve this issue. Mom flashes a deadly smile. As principal, I'm sure you know this, Mr. Bombay, but notice there's a lot of highlighted information about how kids aren't supposed to be bullies, how cyberbullying someone is against your rules, and my favorite is that they aren't supposed to use phones in school. I've got one more thing to show all of you. This is my phone. Do you see number 3 on my phone? It's the speed dial to my sister. She's an attorney who specializes in cases that deal with defamation of character. What's that mean? I ask. Thanks for asking, Otis. That means your Aunt Shauna helps people who have been bullied in public. I never want you to see what this girl said about you and your friends, Otis, but let's just say they used a lot of racist, sexist, and homophobic language. Words that no one should ever use in their life. My mom stops and looks as if she's going to cry. She gathers herself, turns to me, and flashes a smile. She narrows her eyes and turns back. Miss Zablocki, Mr. Bombay, I'm asking you to help put an end to this. First, Stephanie tried to bully Otis verbally. Next, she did it on the internet, which the whole world can see. Now, it has escalated to violence. If you don't do the right thing and do it right away, I'll be back, and I won't be alone. My mother stands up, grabs my arm, and pulls me to my feet. Wait a minute, Mrs. Neely says. One more thing about Otis. I watched the mile race in gym class from the bleachers today, and I timed the race. Unlike Stephanie, I have permission to use my phone in the school. I was using the stopwatch app when you ran today, Otis. Why don't you take a look at the time I have for your mile run? Mrs. Neely slides the phone over to me. I look at the screen. It shows the numbers 0516.29. I can hardly believe my eyes. 516? Really? That's right. You ran the mile in 5 minutes and 16 seconds. I was timing Leo, but I stopped my timer because Mr. Glodster was helping Stephanie recover from her mysterious injury. Oh, and I told Mr. Glodster your time. He said that your name is going up on that wall. Congratulations, you beast! Yes! Leo and I scream in unison. Leo jumps out of his chair. I run over to high-five him, but we trip over some chairs and crash into each other. We roll around on the ground laughing and cheering. We did it, I say. We sure did, Leo answers. I stumble to my feet and see Stephanie with her head against the table. She sobs, no, no, no. Mr. Bombay shouts, boys, this meeting isn't over yet. Mom says, I'm afraid it is. We've got some serious celebrating to do. Chapter 29, The Boykinville Cake of Beasts. We get in the car to ride back home. Mom insists I sit in the front seat, which is unusual. She reaches out and tussles my hair. As long as you and that girl are on the same bus route, you won't ride the bus to school anymore. That's the punishment I'll recommend you receive from your school for getting in that scuffle. How will I get to school? I ask. Rumor has it you're faster than the bus, Mom replies. You're right, Mom. Did you ever hear about or see this website I was referring to, Otis? Mom asks. I heard about it from Nori, and I looked for it once, but I didn't find it. Is it really that bad? I ask. Yes, and it better be gone by tomorrow. I'm going to email the superintendent when we get home. If that doesn't work, the school board is next. I wasn't bluffing in there. I grin at her, but then I look down at the mangled Star Wars lunchbox sitting in my lap. The smile disappears. Mom glances over. What's wrong? Did I make you upset by something I said? I broke Dad's Star Wars lunchbox, I say. No, that girl broke it. He won't be mad at you, I promise. Are you sure? I ask. Sure, I'm sure, Mom says. I hope she's right. I smile again. Mom, guess what? I broke the mile record for the Board of Beasts. Well, we'll have to celebrate then, won't we? The first thing I do when I see Dad at home is hand him the lunchbox. I'm so sorry, Dad. I didn't mean to let you down. Don't worry, okay? You didn't let me down. You made me proud. You make me proud every day. Dad looks me in the eyes and smiles. Your mother called me before I came home and told me everything. Here, hand me Luke. I'll see if I can fix it back at the factory. We probably can flatten the lid out and fix the latch. I hand over the lunchbox and Dad sets it down by the front door. Dad, promise not to tell Stu this, I whisper. Tell him what? He replies. After I got off the bus, I puked. Well, that was a long time after the race, but there's nothing wrong with being a yacker. Are you going to give up running? He asks. No. But what if you get called a try-hard lifer? It's called a no-life try-hard, and I don't care if people say that. Good, Dad says. Then he pulls me in for the tightest hug ever. You're going to make me puke again, I mumble. Sorry, he laughs. He lets go and shoves me in the shoulder. I shove him right back. After dinner, Mom lets me run over to Leo's house. Mrs. Neely opens the door. Hi, Mrs. Neely. I'm really sorry you had to come into that meeting. I'm also sorry for pushing Stephanie, but she pushed Leo. I know. Are you okay? She asks. Yeah, that's my name, I playfully reply. You know what I mean, Otis. Mrs. Neely turns around and shouts, Leo! Otis is at the door. Mrs. Neely walks away from the door as Leo rushes toward me. Leo takes a big breath and asks a string of questions. Did you get in any trouble? What is your mom going to do? Is she really going to do what she said in the meeting? Is your dad mad at us? Is Mr. Bombay going to expel us? You know I'm sorry, right? Sorry for what? I ask. For talking to Mr. Bombay, he says. I have to tell the truth. Mom tells me that men of virtue tell the truth no matter what. What's virtue mean? I ask. It's like when you have good moral fiber. You do the right thing, and you admit when you make a mistake, so you can make things right again, Leo explains. Oh, well, I was going to tell the truth, too. Come over to my house for a bit. Why? He asks. Just come over, I say. Leo nods as he goes back inside to ask his mom for permission. I shout, Mrs. Neely, you should come over, too. You two go ahead. I'll be over in a minute, Mrs. Neely responds. Leo hops out the door, and we walk across the street to my house. I know what's coming, and I can't wipe the smile off my face. I stay ahead of Leo just a little bit so I don't ruin the surprise. I hope you're not lactose intolerant, I say. What? Wow, I just said a word that Leo doesn't know. This really must be my moment in the sun. Lactose is a naturally occurring sugar in milk. People who are lactose intolerant can't break that sugar down. Oh, I don't have that. We walk inside the house, and I lead Leo to the kitchen. Dad, Mom, Bad Sister, and Stu are standing around the table with a huge ice cream cake sitting in the middle. Leo! Dad shouts. You guys did it. It's a celebration. What's this? Leo asks. What do you mean, what's this? Dad answers. It's an ice cream cake for Beastly Beast. It says it right on the cake. Yep, I say. Dad surprised me with it when he came home from work today. We couldn't eat it without you. No way, Leo shouts. You guys rule. Notice it has my name on there too for playing varsity football as a freshman, Stu says. And my piano recital, adds Bad Sister. That's so cool, I say. Otis, 1 mile run. Leo, pull-ups. Stu, football. Ella, piano. Boykinville, beasts. How did you get it made so fast? Leo asks. I had a feeling that OK would break the record today, so I actually ordered this cake yesterday, Dad says. Talk about a vote of confidence, Mom chimes in. I'd say you thought pretty highly of Otis's chances. Well, he has a good coach, Dad says. We all laugh. Can we eat it now? asks Bad Sister. Leo says, we should probably wait for my mom. A knock is heard at the door. Right on cue. Come on in, I shout. Miss Neely struts into the kitchen. Wild bee, an ice cream cake for a bunch of beasts. And I say that in the nicest of ways. Mom passes out plates as Dad cuts up the ice cream cake. Stu predictably says, give me a piece with my name on it. Ice cream cake anatomy. Frosting on top, vanilla ice cream, cookie crumbles, chocolate fudge, chocolate ice cream. Asterisk, the cookie crumbles are my favorite. The next day, Leo and I get up early and walk to school together. When we arrive at school, the principal is outside waiting for me. He tells me that I won't be riding the bus anymore, but I'm not going to get a detention. I promise to stay away from Stephanie, I say to him. He nods in approval and goes into the building. Staying away from Stephanie will be easy, at least for a week, because that's how long she got suspended. I wonder if she broke her hand on my lunchbox. I feel bad for her for a moment, but that feeling fades away pretty quickly. The website is gone from the internet, and I never was able to see what was on there. No one really asked me about my time in the mile or about Leo's pull-up record. They all want to know about when I hit Stephanie with my lunchbox. I try to explain that she hit my lunchbox, and I didn't hit her with it, but stories get all twisted once a bunch of kids start telling them to each other. After lunch, I have art class. I wonder what Nori will say about my altercation on the bus. I know she doesn't like Stephanie, but I don't think that getting into a fight would win me any points with Nori. Halfway through art class, Nori passes me a note. Okay, ask the teacher to let you go to the bathroom. Do it now. Mrs. Foster, can I go to the bathroom? I ask. Sure thing, okay, she says. I grab the boys' bathroom pass by the door and walk out the door. I stand in front of the bathroom doors like a doofus wondering what is going on. Why did Nori want me to go to the bathroom? Do I need to wash my hands? Does my breath stink? Do I have noxious body odor? Nori sneaks up behind me. Hi, she whispers. Oh, hi, I answer quietly. Did you really hit Stephanie? Nori asks. I pause. Well, no, she tried to hit me, but I blocked her fist with my lunchbox. That's how she got hurt. It wasn't really a fight. Why don't you want to fight her with all the things she said about you? I don't care what people say about me, because I know the truth. Gossip isn't my thing. I shouldn't have pushed her on the bus, but she pushed Leo. It's unfortunate that you can't take me out for a date until I'm in 9th grade, Nori says. Don't worry, I'll wait for you, I reply. Nori smiles. She puts both her hands on my shoulders, leans in, and gives me a kiss on my lips. Up close, Nori smells like flowers, and her lips taste like bubblegum. Delicious. Stunned, I kiss her back briefly, but then she steps away. You go back to class first. Oh, and take this. She hands me a slip of paper. I can feel my face turning red, so I quickly take the note, turn, and walk toward the art room. Hey, OK, you're a great friend to Leo for standing up to that bully. Maybe we could be more than friends in 9th grade. With love, from Nori. XOXOXO. It's going to be ultra hard not to tell Leo about my first kiss, but I made a promise to be discreet. It's tough being a gentleman. We don't have gym today, but I sneak down there between classes. Mr. Glodster is on a ladder updating the Boykinville Board of Beasts. The door creaks as I turn to leave, but he sees me peeking in. Tell Schwanke, great job, little man, he shouts. Hi, Mr. Glodster. I made some designs for the Boykinville Beast logo. I'll leave them right here. Great, great. Thanks, Kelshwanki. I'll look at them when I get down. Hey, before you leave, I got one problem. Your last name doesn't fit on the record board. Do you mind if I just put OK? I smile. Yeah, I like that. OK is great. The Board of Beast Boys, 7th grade record holders. New record holder, 29 pull-ups by Leo Neely, shuttle run in 7.0 seconds by Horace Petrino, and the mile run in 5 minutes and 16 seconds by O.K. Bonus chapter, running tips and beast logos. Here are a few tips if you want to run and get in shape like Leo and I did for the mile race. Number 1, get some running shoes. Don't try running a bunch in shoes that aren't meant for running. Number 2, work your way up to running 2 miles or 20 minutes without stopping. This can take a long time. Start by running around the block or running for 5 minutes straight. The next time you run, see if you can go further than the last time. Number 3, go running 3 to 6 times per week. Number 4, don't run real fast. When you're starting to get into shape, the most important thing is to be able to run without stopping. If you start out sprinting, you'll run out of energy too fast. Pace yourself. Number 5, when you can run 3 miles in a row without stopping, try a different kind of running workout. One of my favorites is called the 30-30 workout. This is a 20 minutes of running workout where you alternate running nice and easy with running fast for a little bit. First, run for 5 minutes nice and easy. Then, for 10 minutes, you alternate by running fast for 30 seconds and jogging slowly for 30 seconds. Do this fast then slow pattern for 10 minutes. When you're done with the fast and slow running, jog real easy for 5 more minutes. That's a great workout. Number 6, go to the track and run a mile. See what you can do. To run 1 mile, you have to run 4 laps on a standard 400-meter track. A mile is just over 1,600 meters long. Don't go out too fast and try to run the whole way. The Beast logos. Beast logo choice number 1. The first logo is more of a graphic design. I went with an edgy yet simple look. I think it would be pretty sweet on the side of a helmet, maybe even with glowing eyes. Beast logo choice number 2. This logo is a traditional athletic look. This could be our mascot. He's like a wolf, but is a human. I think that's what a beast is. I made him pretty angry and really buff. Beast logo choice number 3. It's kind of silly, but this logo scares me. There's something about it that freaks me out. Maybe it will weird out our opponents. I wish I hadn't drawn it, because now I see that face when I close my eyes and go to sleep. Ugly beast face! About the author. David Tiefenthaler lives in Wisconsin with his wife and 3 children. He teaches middle school, writes, draws, and runs 12-mile obstacle courses for fun. That's not true anymore. Now I just make YouTube videos. You can visit him online at, no, that website's not there either. Just visit me right here on Tiefsa at YouTube. Tiefsa on YouTube for my adventures. Thanks for listening to the story.